And welcome to Omega Strikers Amateur Series. We're back once again with Week 3. I'm Lego Mage here with AJ tonight, and we're going to be jumping right into it. The teams are ready to go. Silly team name versus Chikara Clinkers, perennial contender versus some of the new kids on the block here to start us off for the night. AJ, how are you doing? And I don't know, what do you expect to see kind of going into this game? It looks like they got Gates of Obscura as their map.
Doing pretty well, and going to be doing a lot better because Gates of Obscura is one of my favorite maps to watch played. It's always just great to see how the teams use the portals. So I'm expecting to see some fun angles hit, maybe some people escaping death by seeking the portals, whether it's intentionally or not. Sometimes people just accidentally end up in those, but it's still pretty funny to see. And sometimes you'll see them do like a little wiggle of movement of just like, oh wait, I'm alive. So, should be fun to see how it all turns out. But yeah, Goo is just a top-tier map. Even though a lot of people hate it, I am one of them that love it. So, if Obscura has one fan, that fan is me.
It's a love-or-hate map, really. We say it all the time. It's a very specialty map. If you're good at it, you love it. If you don't get it or don't like playing it, you never want to see it. But looks like we got Kahone going for the Asher goalie pick here. Very solid option. Band coming out as well from Clinkers. Everything else seems pretty much normal from their team comp. Vicblade on the Zen and Captain Yes rocking the legendary Kai. Looks like the Arrow Band coming out a silly team name. Not sure what that's against, honestly. I imagine it would have been like Kahone Arrow goalie, but that wouldn't be the pick on this map. So I'm not sure why the Arrow Band is coming through, honestly, but we'll see what silly team name has to show. I haven't seen these players in this series before, so there's certainly going to be some surprises coming out. And they're going to actually pick away the Kai, so a pretty smart move there.
Yeah. Sometimes Era is just nice to take out if you know that, the enemy team is going to go for a brawler or any kind of brawl comp, just because Era can fit in a lot of the time, so maybe just safety against that if it's a weird pick on something, so.
Yeah. He's definitely one of the weaker midfielders right now. Really kind of overshadowed by like Estelle and Now. But it still works really well, obviously, with X, which Vicblade ended up going for. The extra car, it is a Castellet start, actually, as well. You couldn't see that before, but that is a good explanation as well. We see the Strike Shot Dubu and the Mom Boots Asher here for Kahone. Not opting for the Strike Shot, which is a bit interesting. Mom Boots fallen a bit out of favor after the nerfs recently on melee goalies. They like to have that extra strike shot to help out. But movement on Asher is nice, and the hot shot's going to help with a lot of those cooldowns as well. The only person to take it here. So we'll see if that speed ends up playing out. But for now, it is Clinkers with a couple barriers down. A missed strike shot there, unfortunately, for Bunfan, is going to result in them taking the first point as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of portal play as well, if I'm not mistaken there. So just fun to see things like that working out. Portal again with the strike shot. Nice angle there found by the Dubu. Rasmus secondary almost making things bad, but Dubu catches it with the roll, so we're all good there. But in the end, Vicblade actually managing to find a little bit more through that. Getting one barrier. One barrier, though, still standing. Great Giga Blast sends it through the portal. One barrier taken for silly team name. Almost another, but the Rasmus combo not quite perfect there. Keone really solid on that Asher defense. We've seen it before. We will no doubt see it again here at some point. So, ooh, that's a kill. I didn't quite see what happened there, but it was just suddenly off the edge goes the Kai.
That was a shotgun there from Captain Yes. Found the staggered, and well, now they got the power play going. Not able to convert too much of this barrier, though. They've built up a lot of energy, though. Gonna have 3 flips to work with here. Nice death touch from Farah. He's going to get some offense going for silly team name, but neither side really able to get past the goalies right now. They're having a little bit of time struggling on this offense, it looks like, as we are going to be heading in to overtime here. Farah not looking healthy. I think Vicblade's hovering for the KO. Nice elusive. We'll keep him alive. The barrier falls. Captain Yes burns the flip, but he's going to get stalled out. Precarious situation for silly team name as Erasmus is taken off the field. Core flip from Kahone. Pass down to Captain Yes. Can't find the shotgun, though. And set up the portal play once again. Captain Yes on the bottom. Bunfan holds it down.
Yeah. holds it down long enough for the power play to be over. Raz is back, hooks into Strike just to get control of the core a little bit faster, gets second barrier, really good blitz there by Pharah, but is it enough? We see the aggression switching the other way again, the shotgun doing a lot more damage to Wish, potentially another kill onto this Kai, but it's just going to be a goal in the end. Good corner play pass to Yes there, dropping the Sony salute as he scores the goal there. Well played by Chikara Clinkers, and 1 point away from taking the first set.
Clinkers, so far looking good. The length of time it took them to get that second barrier down is a little bit concerning, considering that they do have X and Drakkar stuffing the corners. You know, it is Dubu, which plays pretty well into the corners, but they haven't, Captain Yes and Vicblade haven't really been, they're not really that coordinated right now. It seems like they're kind of playing a bit independently, and with how short range their team has and not a lot of like ways to get around the map, they end up getting kind of separated and zoned out by the Kai and Erasmus here. They've really been looking for these KOs, it seems, but when they can't get them, doesn't particularly go their way. Things like this happen where it just kind of stalls out for a while.
Yeah. And core flip to get the barrier there is nice, though, so it's an open goal for both sides. Great find there by Keone, though. Finds the angle off the bottom, goes just high enough up off of that. Not a perfect right angle. So 3-0 set. Even though it was a little close to the end there, we saw silly team names starting to hit their stride there. And if that continues, we'll start to see them contest a little bit more. But we see Asher picking up the fight, the rapid fire there. Also options of like fight or flight for a little bit more speed, built different for size, but I think rapid fire is just a nice, reliable, especially with the hot shot as well. Just getting a ton of cooldown reduction for that primary is just a really good spell. So very hard to contend against.
I'm very surprised. This is kind of a loaded draft, but Extra Special and Ponderer are both sitting there. And Kone going for the rapid fire. It's rapid fire hotshot, so it's a lot of barrier beams, right? But I don't know. I feel like the correct play is to take the Extra Special away from the Dubu. The Dubu takes the missile prop, and then Captain Yes gets rapid fire Drakkar, right? Like, Fight or Flight still obviously is really good, because, I mean, there's just so much good stuff on that board. But I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I think it's still plenty fine. It's just a pretty loaded draft, is all. I'm surprised that the Happy Star ended up going all the way to the bottom, considering the characters on the board.
Yeah, it might also just be a thing where you want someone to take the hot shot away from the Rasmus, so might as well put that on the goalie.
Yeah. Played right now on the top side. Does have the flip up once again, just wailing away the X Maximus. There's a huge X with that built different. Gonna burn the flip there, is able to stuff it through Bunfan and get things going. The built diff pickup is definitely pretty big here on Vicblade. And on a cast last start, you're getting an extra punch as well. So every time Vicblade pops X Maximus, you're going ultra big mode for a pretty decent amount of time. The area of influence is pretty exponential there on this X, and it's going to be up to Bunfan, I think, to utilize that strike shot a little bit better to stop those interactions from ever occurring.
Yeah. We do see Kiona here trying to get it out of the corner there. Finally managed to do it, but there's been a little bit of struggle with that throughout the game, so we're going to have to be watching those plays as we go forward if Pharah can lock it in the corner with a little bit more help from Wish and things like that. But two barriers do go down there as I say that. Dubu has an open goal. The Molten Bolt goes a little bit wide, so does the Bell Ringer, but Pharah has the Pendulum swing into that second barrier. Open goal now for on the side of Chikara Clinkers. Vicblade trying to get the X-Tech, but doesn't quite find it. In the end, though, will be enough just with the extra size from both Built Different and the ult, able to just recover the core by the time it goes through his hitbox. So nicely found there by Vicblade. Just kind of the X classic of just run into the goalie's face and get something done, whether it's a kill or damage or a goal. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of whiff strikes here from Bunfan on this Dubu. Mistimed strikes or strikes that just missed. And what happened there was Vicblade struck, Bunfan struck back, but didn't actually hit anything. And then by then, Vicblade had another punch up. And it's kind of a really tough situation, right? But the correct thing is if you weren't able to clear it away from the X to begin with, you have to evade strike to get it to not get hit stun by the punch. But Vicblade, I guess, sealing the deal right there with the Bell Ringer. going to put Clinkers up 2-0 regardless.
Yeah. Very dominant lead here. I was getting a little worried for them for the end of the last set, but we have a perfect form on the X. Was also hovering the Egoist. We might see either one going. Both very good ones there. Of course, perfect form does work with the individual punches on the X Maximus. So you can actually get a lot of cool number action with perfect form. But Egoist, still also a really good ability, helps to brawl a lot and prevent the enemy from picking that up so that they can brawl against you and dodge more. So definitely good pickup there. Stacks on stacks going to Asher, no surprise there, although we do see the team player on the Dubu, which is really nice. You get a little bit more forward pressure, and with the way that Silly Team Name is playing, they tend to play a lot more spaced out, and Pharah tends to play a lot more upwards, sort of with more rigid rolls than more fluidly. So having the team player there to get between those rolls is going to be really good for their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to make something work. It's a pretty scary draft from Clinkers, though. Especially that Egoist on Vic Blade. It's pretty generally terrifying. They have lost both barriers here on Wish. Putting up a bit of a one-man stand right now against Gone and Captain Yes. Finally, they're able to clear through the portal. Pick up a barrier of their own. But advancing it right back to Pharah. Nice barrier beam. Clear it out. That'll pick up the second barrier here as well. Now Wish taking control once again. Going to go for the barrage a little bit early, but has managed able to win the strike war. Kahone trying to force the corner rather than going to Captain Yes there. Messed up the barrier beam just a bit, and that will put Silly Team Name on the board this game.
Yeah, I think what happened with that one is that Keone went for the dash strike kind of out of habit, but actually missed that strike because it was a little bit too long and in the corner at a weird angle, so didn't quite have the control, and then Wish was able to capitalize off of that. But still a really good find by Wish on that angle and that timing. One barrier goes down, though, and we actually do see Silly Team Name starting to be a lot more dominant here, a lot more in control. So good stuff coming out of there. A kill, really nicely found onto Drakkar just with the pendulum swing. No damage or knockback on anything on that ability. So kind of a Drakkar walking too close to the edge moment happens. And Giga Blast goes down to the bottom, but Thick Blade is there to recover. Strike shot, though, from the Dubu. Bunfan is able to defend for a little bit longer. Pharah was very low after the Molten Bolt, but still alive for now. Portal pass over to him. Portal pass back down. Goes actually to Vic Blade, unfortunately. Dubu picks it up. The barrage goes a little bit forward. Almost Pharah dying there. I thought for sure with the Bell Ringer, but did manage to get inside that inner circle just barely in the nick of time. So is going to stay alive for now.
I'm not looking particularly healthy at the moment right now. I'm going to have an opportunity here in the corner. Wish sending it right back in, but red core now. Vic Blade gets one barrier. Core flipped at point blank. He's going to find a second. Core slipping away. Kahone, no! Committing tactical suicide, but luckily able to get back up there in time with the speed on the Asher. Sent it right to Pharah, who was able to recover. And a pass through the portal. Bunfan can't find the strike shot. It'll be recovered. The point will go to Clinkers after almost a really bad blunder, but hey, they'll get it done.
Yeah. And that is one of the things in OSAS is we tend to see a lot of those blunders kind of unpunished. Just the team's so preoccupied with just getting the foundations and the basics down that you can see some of those blunders happen and then some of those blunders don't get capitalized on. So it is nice to see how those teams, learn from those blunders and learn to not commit them or, learn to capitalize on them. I say that as we see Rasmus just getting locked in the corner and getting killed by the combo. Good rotation there from Captain Yes to go help out the goalie on that kill. Keone dash strike to the side there. Nice forward pressure there, keeping the tempo up in that power play. You never really want to let the core stall out in the corner if you can. So good stuff there. Another kill onto Kai there. That low stagger bar. Not really doing him any favors ever since that nerf a while ago. So we just see him taking a lot of damage in this match, getting killed, getting put out of position. But we see Bunfan able to be so solid on that defense, defending that one barrier in two different power plays. Even using the ult to get it forward as well. They have a nice setup here. First barrier goes down, second barrier goes down as well. Silly Team Name with a lot of really good stuff and a goal as well. Wish finding that even after dying. Power plays are only as good as your capitalization, and unfortunately, Clinkers just not able to find it on the other side of it.
Silly Team Name now has a chance to bring it back on set point like this, and a nice KO from Pharah. Gonna dime up that pendulum swing. Both barriers down as well. And Wish keeping the core up. Vic Blade having to fall back. The Giga Blast coming through. He's gonna win against the Bell Ringer and Kone's strike. Silly Team Name. They're gonna put themselves on the board now. Get a set of their own. Pharah the MVP. We've had two extremely loaded drafts so far. This one, not quite as loaded, but still seeing some potentially really good stuff here. Stagger Swagger is up. Ad Rush, Might of the Colossus will be a top hat pickup for this Rasmus. More speed, of course, always being nice. Manu going over to the Asher. Chrono on the Kai for even more speed. That's Explosive Castellas Twin Drive Chrono Kai. That's disgusting. But this will mean Mike goes to Vic Blade. The big Egoist X is officially online right now. And then Glass and 1-2 Punch just as the leftovers. Wish and Vic Blade coming out big on that draft.
Yeah, really big. Just so much damage going to be coming out of the X, but only if he can catch this Kai running across the map there, sprinting all the way. The Molten Bulk is a little bit wide there from Captain Yes, who's very low on health with nothing like a Stagger Swagger to help him out. And it's one of those things where if you're playing the kill comp and you're the one getting the kills, it's easy to not really pick up any survivability throughout the draft and just go for more damage. But then as soon as any amount of damage happens, you're kind of lost there. But I say that he's able to get back up to full HP in the end, picking up some orbs in a little bit of time. Is really nice for that. Dubu passing down over to Wish, who puts it through the portal into the corner. Really nice angle, getting the barrier there. Always got to be careful of that tricky corner portal angle there. Vicblade, though, managing to get that second barrier. Open goals on both sides. Dubu ult is really nice there. The Token Fortress holding it down for a little bit longer. Pass down to Pharah, but that Monumentalist Asher ult is so good for shutting down plays like that. You can be on the other side of the map and just completely block off an entire lane. That Death's Touch, though, getting the Drakkar out of position there, but it doesn't matter in the end. Vicblade sending up to the top, and every member of the Chikara Clinkers getting in on the action for that point, taking them up a 1-0 in, again, potentially the final set. They've actually been on that final set for what feels like a while now, because that last set actually went on for quite a while. Ooh, that's going to be a kill onto the Rasmus of all people. I was really expecting it to be Wish with all the damage that was taken. But we see Wish staying alive for now. Kione playing up really far in the power play, really nicely done. That's one way to capitalize on it, is just send the goalie forward. But unfortunate angle means the goal is not scored just yet. That's a kill onto the Kai, though. Good kill flip from Kione. And the strike shot not quite enough to save it there. Goal found by Drakkar.
Some nice work there, and the strike shots have been rather lackluster for Bunfan. Throughout this game, unfortunately. It's cost them just a few points right now, and after that really good offensive stand last set, things are beginning to collapse right now. There's not really an answer to Vic Blade. But the damage is really coming online right now. We see Wish getting kind of targeted at the moment here. We'll be able to break away with that speed and start some corner offense. It's not going to be able to last for too long here. Kahone sending it right back in. X Maximus getting popped right now as a barrier will fall. For silly team name, they're still going. Vicblade finds another, has the flip up. Captain Yes as well, pushing it down to the bottom. Flip is burned, but the roll will save it. Tony sending it back in. Captain Yes can't find the flip, but a KO will do. The power play continues. Strike War from Vicblade will win against Pharah, and that's going to be game. Chikara Clinkers will take it home.
Yeah, really well played there by the Clinkers. We had silly team name almost with the resurgence there. They gave him some trouble to the end of the first set, and they did pick up one set in the end, but Chikara Clinkers took that one set very personally and just went pedal to the metal and just started killing the opponents as much as they could. At the end, 8 KOs for the side of Clinkers through that game, and just some really good pressure. And they started to work together a little bit more towards the end. And you're talking earlier about how Chikara Clinkers not quite on the same wavelength, not quite helping each other out, but we saw some good rotations from Captain Yes backwards to help Kione. Kione going forward at the end there to help out with that power play. They're starting to really dial that in there towards the end of the series, which is nice to see.
Yeah, silly team name almost had a bit of a comeback there. Some nice numbers coming up, though, kind of across the board on those redirects. Kahone, though, with the 139, getting the most in the lobby there, as well as 3 KOs on the Asher. It's pretty nice. 45 shots for both Vicblade and Captain Yes is just sort of funny that they got it, but Clinkers has always been a sort of a bracket regular, so I'm not surprised. They've had a few finale appearances thus far, and we're definitely kind of the overdogs coming into this. But a good game nonetheless. Silly team name put up a nice fight. Hey, they could have a chance to make it to bracket, depending on how things go. Looks like all the round 1 games have just about finished up. So I think we're going to throw it to a quick break here, and then we'll be getting into round 2 in just a bit. All right, welcome back to round 2. We got Chikara Ghast versus 7-Star Strikers coming up. We got Demon Days queued up here on the menu. Just waiting for the players to prepare themselves and get ready to hop into this match. But Demon Days, well, I guess we're running the gauntlets of interesting maps tonight with the new predetermined map rules. I don't actually know what the third one's gonna be, but so far we've had Gates and Demon, so it's definitely gonna be a KO map. Could definitely see some fighting this go round, so it should be exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be Demon Dice for this one. There's going to be back to Atlab for that match 3, trying to get that nice, one of the big 3 in there, just so you can get some highlights there. I think so far it's been Atlab for week 1 as well, was it? But tournament organizers trying to highlight the potential of these teams on the regular maps as well, and not just some of the off-meta ones. So yeah, but I definitely do agree that for the Demon Dice, it's going to be a lot of KOing.
Yeah, well, loading into the draft right now. So we're about to have our word cut out for us. Interested to see what these starting awakenings here are, but initial hovers, looks like Swampert Trooper picking up the Juno potentially. Panacito hovering that Asher goalie once again. Very strong pick on this map. A lot of damage. Unlock it down. You have 12 on the Rasmus here. Ban phase. It's like a Finny. Makes sense. Finny is a really strong pick on this map in general. The ult is very good. Extra damage, of course, really nice to have. Is generally beloved on this map. And the Asher are getting banned out.
Yeah. Asher, I mean, it's not really as relevant last game, but we have seen how powerful Asher goalie can be. And of course, it is like Kione's signature pick, but definitely understandable to take that out of the game, even if Kione's not in here, because there are definitely a lot of people that are very strong on that. So I think it's a fairly intelligent choice most of the time if you see an Asher pick, especially on a map like Demon Dice. It's very melee, very close quarters. It can be nice to not have to go through that. But of course, we're going to end up with most likely looking like a Dubu versus an Atlas goalie. So still a lot of walling of the goalie box on Demon Dice. You don't tend to see the Imes and the Lunas as much, although you do occasionally see that one kind of lost era that just kind of works for whatever reason.
Yeah, a lot of creations going on here. Monu, Timeless could be pretty decent pickups for either side right now. F12 actually went for the Kai instead of the Rasmus here, so sort of a double midfield operation over on 7-star Strikers. Not a lot of damage from either side, really. There's the Rasmus actually over there. Jakara Gast opting to pick it up. A lot of healing for Jakara Gast, and a lot of just kind of utility from 7-star Strikers. Not a lot of initial, on paper damage here. It was like an egoist start. Everyone went for it. Official Von Kendi opting for the Magnetized Souls. Getting much more popular pick on this map as well, and both goalies, of course, sticking with that strike shot here. So no big surprises other than they're not playing damage.
Yeah, but that is quite a big surprise, especially for Demon Dice, when you see that it's such a small map here. We actually see the first barrier going down pretty quickly there. Both sides though losing a barrier quite quickly. But nice pass around Atlas, trying to clear it, but not managing to. Good play there by the Kai. Pass up to Swampert, goes back down to the Kai again, but not quite able to get anything out of it.
Giga Blast coming on, trying to get it through. But so far, Kudash holding it down on the open goal. Finally get back over to Official here. Panacito, notably, just now hitting level 2, so never mind. Gonna burn the soup cooldown, though. That slime is chasing that core a very far distance. Pass down to Yav12. Can't find it twice. Whiffed the strike. Unfortunately, gonna get KO'd for it as well. First point, not looking too hot for either side at the moment, but Ego is coming up now for Official Von Kendi. Gets the second barrier. Immediate flip. Is able to win the foot race against Panacito. And a great pendulum swing to launch it through. Guarantee the win. And it'll be Jakara Gast. You're going to be first up on the board.
Yeah, we saw that early lead from 7-star Strikers with their KO, or with their control comp into the KO comp. Getting, as long as they have the core in their possession, they can do a lot with it. Unfortunately, dribble there by the Dubu actually leads to 2 barriers going down. But Jakara Gast with that kill comp, as long as they're able to make the point stall long enough so they can get a kill, they can really just flip the game on its head in an instant. So Jakara Gast is really going to be looking to just put damage on the enemy team as it goes across, but good offense there by the side of 7-star Strikers actually nets them the goal in the end.
Bit of an unfortunate clear there from Pudash. Hit it right to the slime that was sitting by the goal lock. And then just, unfortunately, everything kind of fell apart from there with Yav in position. But core flips are once again coming up, and 6 Egoist start. Oh, a great secondary there from Kiwis. But I think the first one to pop the Egoist, get that extra speed to work with right now. Swampert Trooper not far behind. The midfielders running quick. A whiffed flip is a bit unfortunate here. The barrier still maintaining its existence for the time being, but Pudash in a bit of a situation. Rely on Peewees here. They're going to have to get around the back, but Yav4 looking to make the play. Can't quite find the barrier, but does get the flip out of the goalie. Equally as valuable, just about. Official Von Kendi able to bring down a barrier now of their own. Soup coming out on the bottom side. Pee-wee's covering this top angles, making it hard for Panacito to clear it out. Core flip pendulum swing play again, but not going to pay out big this time for Fischl. Panacito will be able to hold that one down. We're about to be heading into overtime. Pee-wee still has a flip up, but just hasn't been able to get their hands onto the core too much. Now might be their opportunity to use it, but is going to hold on to it. Barry will stay up for the moment. Fischl able to bring it down there. Bit of a whiff flip here, but a nice pass from Pudash straight to Pee-wee's. We'll find the shot to the bottom. It's Chikara Gas now. They're on set point.
Yeah, really nicely found there by the entire team of Chikara Gas, just putting on the forward pressure until 7-star Strikers ends up crumbling. And of course, Pudash repping the Bongoni there. Always going to be partial to those teams that run that emote. I'm definitely on the bias caster. Although we actually see a kill coming out there. Good find onto Kai there, but a great offense by the Juno finds 2 barriers even in the negative power play. So really well found there. But we see more aggression coming out of the side of Chikara Gas. They get 1 barrier, they get 2 barriers with the core flip from the Rasmus, goes up to top, use the pendulum, or the Death's Touch to try and pull the Kai out of position. Not quite enough, though. Now secondary being used. Strike shot from Atlas with a little bit of background support. The Astral Projection, ooh, great last-second core flip there from Pudash is going to save the goal, but that note is no longer available to him. And we see Juno and Dubu both very close to their core flips. And yeah, very close to death, almost dying to the Now arrow there. And the Rasmus as well, so close, but that's so many abilities being put into this Kai, and nothing really of it. There we go, finally the kill comes as we go into overtime.
Flip from Panacito, but Fischl walking up with the whiplash. He's able to clear it around him there. The Slime's coming out huge on the defense, and Swampert Trooper enough core speed to hit the Demon Angle and red core it past the Atlas here. 7-star Strikers looking to make their comeback. 2-2 now, energy just about even as well. The set could go either way. Manu, of course, being on the board is absolutely massive for multiple players on Chikara Gas. And we find Catalyst as well. It's obviously going to be a really big pickup here. A bit of an unfortunate barrier situation for 7-star Strikers at the moment, but they're looking to hold on.
Yeah, it really does feel like Fischl is expecting to have size on the Rasmus because he's using these pendulum swings a little bit too far away. Almost really good play there, but an unfortunate angle off of the secondary there. Doesn't quite find what he needs to. Ooh, the Now arrow, though, finds a kill. That's a power play. The goalie is out of the goal. Fischl misses the strike, but it doesn't matter as it actually trips up the Juno there. And Swampert Trooper is not quite able to find the defense there. And it's going to be first set going over. Rasmus is going to be the set MVP there, getting to pick up something like a built different. Hotshot as well, though I mentioned earlier, can be very good on the Rasmus as well. Would also deny Juno, though of course you would have 1-2 punch available. So is going to be the built different pickup in the end for the Rasmus.
Hotshot going over to Swampert Trooper, of course. I see Missile Prop and Siege Machine are both available here, but it's actually going to be Reverb for Pudash. Siege will fall over to Panacito. Chrono Boost here for the Now, but Super Surge is still available for this Kai to get a Dash Awakening. Actually going to go for the Missile Prop instead, looking for that extra range on those projectiles over the speed. I think most people would go for the Super Surge there, especially with the Egoist start, but either way, I mean, that's some extra speed there for Pee-wee's. And a little bit confused by the Reverb pickup, but it is more cooldowns for the Atlas, who does kind of need it. Decent draft overall for both sides. A lot of people getting what they want for the most part. And with how even they've been playing, I wouldn't expect it to change too much.
Yeah. We see an open goal, though, for Chikara Gas. As per last time, 7-star Strikers coming out swinging. They have a lot of good early game control. Their kickoffs are really good. But we see Chikara Gas actually has some really good just sort of mid to late set control of the core. Once there's been a little bit of time in the set, they sort of get their bearings and they're able to pass between each other. A good hook from Rasmus, but it's interrupted by the Slimes there. Pudash trying to get the core forward, but it's not quite enough just yet. We of course see a lot of red cores coming out, a lot of power between the core flips and Hotshot on that Juno. The Now arrow interrupting Yav, but he does at least get the core forward, but it kind of just goes over to the Atlas, who now has control of it. The barrage is really nice for interrupt, forcing out the Cosmic Expanse there from the Atlas. That's going to be a kill, though, onto Kai. That was a hook from Rasmus that caught him. Wasn't expecting quite to have that happen, but passed down over to the Now.
And core flip's coming up now. Panacito first to burn it. Stalls it out, though. Double flip coming out, but they Kaz it together. Swampert Trooper able to hold it down on the bottom side. Their miss will not go unpunished as the defense is holding for 7-star strikers at the moment. Pudash looking to send it back in, though. They're having some trouble converting on offense as Yav is getting absolutely beat up. Might not be long for this world. Fischl now, once again, with the core going to the top side, but can't find a good angle here. Swampert Trooper has the Egoist pop. They're moving down to the bottom side as Yav just desperately tries to survive. Goes for the flip, brings it down to the bottom. Looking to make a play on the corner, but can't find it. Pudash with the flip. Gets it out of there and picks up the KO now. Death Touch comes through, but Fischl mistimes the strike and misses it. It's an own goal. 7-star strikers picking up the first point there on a really, really unfortunate blunder.
Yeah, really unfortunate there as well. I think there was actually a little bit more speed on the core as well because of the Juno hitting it into the hook, and it was sort of in the same line, so it kept the momentum. Good roll there from the Dubu as well, but Atlas playing super full forward. You don't always see Atlas's play forward, but it really is a powerful thing that you can do, especially when you have that Cosmic Expanse available. Just so much pressure put onto the enemy goalie through that one ability if you can get it off in their face. Good core flip there from Fischl, but actually not quite the good angle off of it. Had so much potential with that, but actually ends up being an own barrier. Fischl starting to play for the enemy team a little bit, but it does happen. Strike shot from Atlas into the core flip from now means that all of those mistakes are washed away. It doesn't matter how many own barriers you get as long as you score the point in it.
Panacito managing to preserve the core flip is good though, because ultimately 1-to-1 is a pretty safe place to be regardless. Ooh, maybe a bit of lag there, unfortunately, with the flip got the flip, but still lost the barrier. It's not what you want to be seeing. Pudash as well having to burn the flip, but not getting too much off of it here. Luckily, though, with the Egoist start, they'll be getting them back pretty quick, and oh my gosh, unfortunately, poor Yav not been allowed to play the game too much. This go-round has taken off the board. Once again, a nice hook from Fischl pulls Panacito out of the way. It's going to allow Chikara Gastamia to play on that barrier. Going to lose one of their own now, but they have the open goal. It's Fischl and Peewee's walking up. They will be able to win the strike war. And that's Chikara Gas now on set point once again.
Yeah, looked almost effortless there by Peewees just walking up, winning the strike war. But there's so much mental game that happens there when you strike at different times. As the goalie, you're trying to wait as long as possible. You don't want to wait too long. So just good call there by Peewees, just having the confidence to do that. Finding a goal in the end. Good aggression there by Fischl there. One thing that I really do like with Fischl getting a double barrier there as well is just how aggressive he is with those core flips. When you have something like Egoist or Catalyst, just not being afraid to use the core flip is really nice. Core flip there from the Dubu, just going to wait for the speed to die out, but that's going to be Kai dying out there. Pass up to the slime there. Swampert Trooper trying to maintain some control, but the hook hooks the Dubu out of the way. Really nicely found by Fischl, and that's going to be the set going over to Chikara Gast. Own goal in the end, not mattering there. As we see him get the MVP once again. We're just going to sweep that one under the rug. He did well overall on the point. Has the option for Catalyst. Rampage as well, of course, very good. So many good options here for him.
But you got to take the Catalyst no matter what, yeah. Super, super strong pickup. And, I mean, who's going to take the Rampage? Dubu? No. So they're going to opt for the Timeless, but it means Primetime and Orbs still up for Pudash. Going to opt for the speed here. Team player going over the Juno for more of that core speed. Then now opting for the Twin Drive. Really solid pickup, and there's some speed for Kai. Once again, some decent pickups all around, but that Catalyst is absolutely huge. You said it earlier, Fischl Von Kendy's been using those core flips aggressively, which you should be doing when on an Egoist start. And now with the Catalyst, this guy is going to be flipping quite often.
Yeah, we do see that Pudash just is kind of an enemy of those corner angles, not quite finding the lineups. He's always like 1 pixel off on these angles. So I'd love to see a little bit more practice going into the future on those. Because he has some really good plays there, and he just misses the execution just barely. But we do see Yav already staggered so early on into the set, but staying alive for now. The Astral Protection not quite getting a kill, neither is the Now Arrow, but it sets it up for the Pendulum Swing. Really nicely found there. Fischl getting it up and now hitting it with a strike. We see that Dubu log, though, that little candy cane roll thing, sending it into the goal there. Really nicely played by Panacito, and that's just the Siege Machine. I was going to say Missile Prop, but that's on Kai. We had Missile Prop last game on the Dubu. But that Siege Machine coming into play there with the Timeless Creator. Just so much presence on those logs, potentially. So really nicely found. We see a lot of aggression. Again, 7-star strikers really good at these kickoffs. Very consistent.
Hudash has been continuously getting punished for walking up on these open goals, especially when he doesn't have the egoist speed. You're Atlas, you gotta stay in the net on the open goal. But does have the flip up now, so has a little bit more speed to work with right now. Swampert Trooper as well, looking to burn it, gets blocked by the Astral Projection. It's a bit of a tough situation here for 7-star Strikers. Official now with the egoist pop of their own, walking up. Panacito wins the core flip war, but will not result in too much. However, the KO coming out once again on Yav. Assuming yet another power play for the side of Chikara Ghast here. Pee-wee's looking to make a play on the top side. Panacito bringing it down to the bottom. Pudash walking up with the expanse. It's a bit risky, but it will pay off. Yav coming back online, though. He's got the speed to bring it down to the bottom. Has the barrage. Core flip has to come out. Gets it back up to Fischl. Puts the hook in the center. And there's the flip to confirm it. These hook placements from Fischl are really nice, because Panacito is basically checkmated. If you try and clear it away from the Rasmus, it hits the hook and goes right back to him. If you clear it to the corner, of course, he's standing there. And, well, if you try and walk into it, then you get hit stunned, as we saw last set. Some really nice awareness there from Fischl.
Yeah, it's such a narrow angle to hit there on that hook. We see, again, the kickoff from 7-star Strikers, not quite as good this time, as they're not able to maintain control. They get the 1 bear, but then they lose 2 off the back end of the play. Pewis up the top here, tries to get around the log from Dubu, getting the hit stun off, meaning that it's not quite going to be enough, but there we go. Fischl, always the one to show up in the end there. Just kind of walks up there, hits it into the goal, really nicely found.
Good positioning. Saw the opportunity and capitalized on it. Fischl making good work of this, and he's going to have the core flip up once again. The energy build going so strong right now. See if Pudash is able to get it around the back here. Some aggression coming out from Swampert Trooper. Has the core speed, but not able to get too much. The egoist pops are coming up. Fischl first one to burn it, but it gets stalled out a bit in midfield as Yav, once again, not looking healthy. Imagine Pee-wees or Fischl both looking for the KO here onto this Kai, as they have been consistently doing all game.
Yeah, but as they're looking for that kill and putting a little bit too much attention on that, they actually do end up losing the barrier. I think even Pudash was trying to look up for a lineup on the core flip there for the kill. So we see an open goal, but we do see that Chikara Ghast has the control of the core for now. They're going to put it behind the barrier for 1 and now 2. Good aggression there by Fischl. Pudash passes down the core flip from the Juno, hits the demon angle. Pudash forced to use the core flip there, sends it all the way through as Panacito misses the strike in the end. And that is going to be the victory for Chikara Ghast here. Really nicely played there by 7-star Strikers, but it was such an uphill battle, especially when you're a Kai into a kill comp. One of the lowest stagger bars in the game just means he basically just gets killed time after time after time. There's not a lot you can do about that. Really good capitalization by Chikara Ghast.
Yeah, and seeing that on the replay, Panacito went for the strike shot a little bit late there, and it ended up going right at him. And of course, the strike was still on cooldown for just a little bit too long. It's a bit unfortunate, but a good fight put up by 7-star Strikers nonetheless. Fischl, Von Kendi, of course, for Chikara Ghast. The kind of unanimous MVP, was absolutely making plays on the Rasmus. 148 redirects, 55 shots, and 7 KOs as well for fun. 6 goals. Looking really strong on the pick there. And 7-star Strikers was going to pick it, and they didn't. And I don't know if it would have mattered, but, I mean, this Fischl guy might be able to cook with it. So, with that, though, that's our round 2 game. We got 1 round left in Swiss. So, we'll be cutting to a quick break once again, and we'll be coming back real short with that. All right, welcome back. Round 3. About to kick off here. Contrarians versus Chikara Girls going over to AtLab for a final game of Swiss and last chance to get into bracket. Both these teams 1-1. So they are going to be fighting each other for a potential bracket spot here to try and get in.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see which of these managed to qualify, or not to qualify, but to qualify for bracket, not qualify for OSAS Family, but still a qualification. And of course, there is always next week as well. So this isn't the absolute last chance, but this is getting to the end of the chances. So if they fall here, then there'll be a slim shot for that last one. So there is some stakes here. It's not all or nothing, but it's, all or most at the very least. So going to be interesting to see. It's also, of course, AtLab, so very familiar map for most players. Going to be largely seeing some comfort picks coming out here. You can play almost anything on the lab. So interesting to see, sort of what gets pick banned away, especially, if there's one tricks here in the lobby, then those will probably get targeted first.
Yeah, definitely going to more than likely be a comfort angle here. So loading in right now. Atlas's lab. Curious to see as to what we've got working with. None of these players I am familiar with at all. And I think both these teams are newly assembled, as far as I'm aware, at least this season. I've not seen them appear in bracket before, so could have some new blood showing up. You see the bans coming out. It's going to be an Asher once again. Asher getting banned every Swiss game so far that we've seen, which is kind of funny. But, Chikara Girls locking that in. Aimee coming out from Contrarians, which, by my guess, it looks like Shadow may have been an Aimee one-trick or comfort player having the hover. Now opting between Juliet or Zentaro to fill the gap.
Yeah, it's looking like a nice team comp there, though, with that Zentaro, Juno, Mako. You have a nice wall goalie there in Mako that has some, range support. You have the Juno midfield and Zentaro forward. Versus the Fanny, most likely in that goalie, the Rasmus forward, and then the Rune midfield that we see a lot more in OSAS than I think anywhere else. It crops up every now and then at higher levels of play, but by and large, I think Rune midfield is kind of almost a staple of the OSAS at this point. I think we've had at least one Rune midfield main in every single OSAS bit, just about.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. And Siege Machine ad rush start is definitely an interesting one here. Shadow and NB Pixel both going for the ad rush on the brawlers here. Everyone else opting into the Siege Machine, and Godzilla going for the Pauldrons as well on that Mako. Just for more size, not a super common awakening or gear on this map for, reasons we just saw. You don't have strike shot and you don't have a lot of mobility. You see it a lot more on something like Tycho or Demon. And Expos, of course, going for the Mont Boots on the Finny. A little bit of unusual team comps, I think, on both sides, really. But everyone's seeming to just kind of play what they like, which is what we were kind of talking about at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, there is some sort of disjoint between the amount of KO and control potential the teams have. They're kind of split down the middle, but they at least have their basic roles for the most part covered. Good slime there, though, from Meister is going to find the second barrier, open up the goal, but not quite finding the goal just yet. Card also going to hit Zentaro, getting a little bit damaged there, but he managed to get a goal just in time to stay alive. We have NB Pixel rushing forward on this round, so trying to get things done. The hook is nice, but there is a Juno in the way. Ooh, Shadow almost getting a really nice bit of Zentaro tech, but in the end it's going to be Meister jumping forward and picking up that goal first for the side of the Chikara Girls.
Rhyme Forever, unfortunately. The core getting past there is not what you want to see. You expect the Rune to be kind of covering that angle, but I mean, once it slipped out, Arcmeister was right where they needed to be to sink it in right now and tie it up. Core flip coming out here from Godzilla, just looking to get it away from the barrier, which unfortunately goes down regardless. You see both sides now looking for some control.
Yeah, we see Fanny playing super far up there. Expo's trying to get a little bit more forward pressure, but in the end, it's actually just going to be a slime with the forward pressure there, pushing Fanny all the way back into the barrier and opening up the goal. Good offense there by NB Pixel, but it just kind of peters out there. You really need to have this Rune midfield playing super far up, and that's really where you get to the problem is that Rune midfield has some mobility in the teleport. That's going to be Shadow picking up the goal there. But Rune isn't really able to rotate cleanly. He can teleport instantly across the map, but he can only do that every so often. He doesn't really have the ability to run back and forth like you usually need on the midfield. So if he's playing forwards, you can have some really good forward pressure. But if he ever is out of position, then it can just kind of go around him and he never really gets to ever see the core the entire game. So really something you need to be careful of if you're playing that Rune midfield, that you need to have just the best positioning. There we go, though. Shadow going off the map. There was a Rasmus hook that got that kill. Really nicely done.
The big ad rush proc there for NB is able to bring down the second barrier off of this power play as well. Core flip from Rhyme. Trying to send it back in, but Shadow's back online and is immediately looking to reignite this offense here. The pillar not quite able to form, but the core slipping past Meister and Shadow. Get back in the midfield here. The black hole getting popped. Sends Shadow off the map, though. And yet another power play here for the side of Contrarians. Core flip's got to come out from Godzilla to buy a little bit of time. NB is not looking too well, though. Not able to get pushed too far up in fear of dying. Has a nice death touch set up, but once again, he's got to burn some of that energy just to stay alive. Out of resources now and may have to fall back here. The black hole almost proving lethal there. Will provide enough leeway for Chikara Girls to bring down that barrier and look to make a play on this goal in overtime. Godzilla, nice defense against the pendulum swing. Getting up to Shadows. Got the slice and dice and sends it right through Rhyme. And that's Chikara Girls taking set 1.
Yeah, really nice he found there on the angle by Shadow, but of course Arkmeister is going to be the one that picks up that set MVP with our free hot shot on that Juno. Thankfully not going for missile prompt. It's such a trap on Juno. I've seen it so many times, especially in OSAS. But hotshot is the way to go here. We do see, though, Rasmus getting big fish there. And of course, that does mean that Finny does get the missile prop. So there is a lot of good awakenings here so far. I think everyone pretty much gets some of their best in slot here. We have a Super Surge on Zentaro who has multiple dashes, so it's one of the best picks on one of the best people for that pick. And, you know, Fight or Flight on the Mako, not like a stellar awakening for her, but definitely not a bad one either. And, of course, Egoist is Egoist.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Egoist made it that far down. I think either Expos or Godzilla should have taken that. Like, I think Expos should have taken that, being high up in the draft as they were. And you're playing Finny, who is already really fast and relies on mobility to, you know, win interactions and be able to, you know, provide a lot of offense. So a little bit of a blunder. It's not like a crippling one, but it is a little bit of a blunder there. But still some really nice awakenings on everyone. It was a pretty loaded draft nonetheless. And we're seeing, once again, both sides down, but the hot shot from Arkmeister is a bit too fast. Rhyme Forever and Expos not able to react to that one. And that puts Chikara first on the board.
Yeah, first on the board, but the first set as well, taking a very commanding lead in the sets or in the game so far. If they can continue that, though, great banish there from Rhyme. Rhyme on the rune, looking to play a little bit better. We see here, really landing some of those good ultimates here that we didn't see in that first set. Sort of, you know, potentially just warming up onto the rune here. We see good strike war as well, winning against Shadow there. Expos passing forward, but kind of just passes to the Juno there. Unfortunate angle. Just can't get it around the forwards here. We see Rune trying to help out, but Rhyme is just not quite in a perfect position there, not quite having the abilities available. Black Hole as well is going to do a ton of damage to Rhyme and Shadow, and Shadow is the one that's able to capitalize, staggering out the Rune, but in the end it's going to be a pendulum swing from NB Pixel that just goes right through Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla, you gotta be prepared for those when Rasmus walks up like that. That's where evasion ends up becoming huge against that character in particular, but some nice awareness there from NB Pixel to maintain a good distance, get some good positioning here. Big plays here from Shadow. Both barriers going to be going down to start us off. Godzilla looking to make the defensive stand on the rebound, sends out the ensnare drums, forces Expo to burn the ult as well. And Arkmeister still holding on to this core flip. He's going to be looking to make an offensive play with it here. Burns it on the bottom side. Rhyme Forever able to block it, though. Hold on for just a bit longer, but running up the field with that fight or flight and forcing it through the super surge from Shadow just to confirm it. Huge breakaway play. Arkmeister. Using some good, there was some good slick kicks dribbling right there on the bottom wall from this Juno to get that one into the position it needed to be.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed here by Arcmeister on this Juno. Really able to be very prevalent with the Juno and just knowing where to be, knowing where to put the slimes. Is a nice change. A lot of people just kind of throw the slimes out all willy-nilly and just kind of hope for the best. But Arcmeister does seem to have a little bit more thought behind the slimes for the most part. Putting forward kind of a pass there to Rhyme, unfortunately, though, as I'm talking about how good the usage of the slimes are. But it's not the end of the world. Really nice slime dribble there with the red core, of course, on Hotshot. And just goes right between Rhyme and Expos for a goal there. And that's going to be set 2 taken. Kara Girls taking a very, very large lead here. And Arcmeister going to be the set MVP again for the second time in a row here. Rewarded with something like Catalyst, Orb Ponder, Orb Dancer, even Twin Drive, not too bad. Or could deny something like a Mighty Colossus away from the Rasmus.
Yeah, I think Catalyst is really nice here because this is a good awakening in general. Yeah, that's going to be the pickup. Orb's going over to Expos for some more of that speed going on. Does mean Might's going to pick it up by Shadow, more damage, and of course denies some of the size, but with Rampage on the board, NB still getting what they want. Going to get team player on the Mako. Castellas making it down to the Rune. Pretty much, once again, everyone getting what they really like here. I mean, that's a tough draft. I don't think there's any way to deny anyone for the most part. So everyone getting a really nice awakening to be able to work with right now. Just going to come down to that defense and that cooldown management that we see in Contrarians. Rune and Finny are not necessarily the most lockdown characters of all time, but I think they definitely were making a few cooldown related mistakes on that last set that allowed some unfortunate cores to float through. See if they can clean that up, but I guess not there, as Shadow's able to do a nice rearrange in the Finny ult to secure that one.
Yeah, really nicely done by Shadow. They're just kind of locking Expos in there with the ult. Just Expos is trying to get an angle where the Finny ult would just go the other direction, but Shadow was not allowing that to happen. That's actually going to be a kill onto Shadow there. So a little bit of payback for the last point there. Mako holding that secondary for a really long time, giving Juno all the speed in the world and just holding it. Ooh, nice find, but it's a sad boys angle. Unfortunate there, Arcmeister finding a really good angle, but then a really bad angle all of a sudden right at the end. Shadow, though, able to get that double barrier secure. Use the ult as well to stall the core in the middle, but MB picks it with a hook switch up into the Finny card. The core flip from Mako is not enough. The core flip from Juno buys a little bit more time, and finally it is cleared after so many abilities are used. Expo has the core flip as well, going to wait until the slime hits, but actually Shadow picks it up, but just sends it down to Rhyme, unfortunately, just passing to the enemy there in the enemy goal box. So Shadow, though, very low, uses the dash up to the top. Juno not quite able to get it through to the Zentaro, though. Rhyme going to be going forward, using the teleport away and actually sort of stalling out the tempo there. Slime is really nice, too. Zentaro uses all of his abilities and the passive into the strike, and that's going to be a goal found by Shadow. 2-0, 1 point away from taking the game.
Shadow locking him in. Rhyme had a really nice banish there that got Arcmeister and Godzilla, but the core was still good. But then the pillar setup was just a little bit too short, and they couldn't get to the core before the banish wore off, unfortunately. And they ended up getting it saved out. We have another opportunity here, though, on the top side. A nice pillar setup. The barrier will be held down. This Mako character, notoriously good at keeping the corner held. Shadow with a nice shot around the bottom. This is the second barrier gone here for Contrarians as NB trying to make something happen on the bottom, but Shadow super surges up and is able to beat out Expo and take the game there. Chikara Girls able to seal the deal against Contrarians and get to the 2-1 record here. I think that pretty much guarantees them a bracket spot, which is nice. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm positive, though, because I could be wrong, I'll be honest. But look at the stats here. I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, I am also like 99.99% sure that 2-1 gets you that bracket slot.
Yeah, it does.
We've
Okay,
just got confirmation that it does. Yeah, we see though that Arcmeister was able to just get so much control of the core in the midfield. I mean, of course, Shadow was taking the glory with, getting the barriers very consistently, getting the goals very consistently, but all of that was on the back of Arcmeister getting the core very consistently time after time. It felt like every time the core was on the left side of the field, it was just going right back to the right side very soon after in the hands of Arcmeister and all of the slime. So really well played there. I think a well-deserved MVP. And I think Contrarian just kind of has to go back to the drawing board, work on their team play a little bit. And, the Rune midfield can really work, but you really have to work it into the team. Everyone has to know how to play around it. And you as the Rune also really have to, sort of play positioning twice as good as you would on anyone else. But there were a lot of really good highlights there as well for the Contrarians. A lot of good moments there. They got 3 KOs across the match, more than the other team who got 0. And they were really having those nuggets of good things. They just weren't consistent enough in that to really win the game. So back to the drawing board for one more week, but I think that they can make a bracket run the next one at the very least.
Yeah, Rune and Finny are both not easy characters to play, and it's pretty rare that we see them played together because they don't necessarily have any good defensive synergy with each other. So I think team comp is definitely something to be working on. But I liked a lot of what MB was doing. Had some pretty good Rasmus plays there. So with that though, Chicago Girls making it to bracket, which will be coming up next. We're going to be throwing it to a quick break. Well, maybe a little bit of a longer break with the matches going on. But looks like some are finishing up. So throwing it to a bit of a break. And when we come back, we'll be looking at that finalized bracket here. So stick around. And welcome back to the bracket stage. I'm here with Sykeem now, and we're about to be getting into our first game, our round one match. It's going to be Plink 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 versus Chikara Space Train. Both teams coming in here with a 2-1 record. Both teams, I'm pretty sure, have been here before. Plink Plink Plink. It's definitely been an up-and-coming team this season. That'd be really cool to see them continue on. Also, fun fact, it's like 8 out of the 9 Chikara teams we had this week have made it into the bracket, which is pretty crazy. But, Sykeem, wow. What are your thoughts coming into this game? Looks like we got AtLab selected. I don't know if that's the map that they chose or not, but what are your thoughts on looking at these players here?
Yeah, I am quite interested in some of these players. I mean, hey, we've got Elowick. I'm sure you've seen that name popping up in the chat before. And otherwise, I'm not too familiar with these players, but I'm very excited to become familiar with their gameplay. So I'm looking forward to it. I can see that Audnarb is quite the master of Finny, if their OmegaStrikers.gg profile is to believe. And then you've got Shikukute rocking the Aimi Mastery, so maybe we might see that coming out. And then Huatin, if that's how you're supposed to say that, appears to be a Zentaro player. Got a lot of mastery on that character. And then that's the team of Plink 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 that might be. Oh wait, no, my apologies. That's Chikara Space Train that I just listed off.
Yeah.
No, Plink 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 is Katyusha, which, from what I can tell, very masterful on the Asher. Expect to see that pick in the gold box. Everyone knows how good that character is, right? And Elowick rocking some good mastery on the Rasmus and the Now. So, we'll see what comes out here. Now's probably their midfield pick, because Chocobo Yao also apparently is an Asher player. So there might be a little bit of conflict on the choice of strikers there, but we'll just have to see what they decide to pick up. If it really is Atlas Lab, because that's kind of one of those neutral maps where you can kind of try a lot of things out, right?
Yeah. It's really just probably going to be another comfort game. More than likely. We've seen Asher banned literally all throughout Swiss. It's just been that kind of night, I guess. So honestly, with what you just listed off, I wouldn't be surprised if Asher gets banned by one of these teams.
For sure.
Honestly, with 3 people who potentially play Asher really well, I wouldn't be surprised here. Space Train, of course, is on blue side. They're going to have the first pick, which is always nice. And if it is Audnarb who ends up being pick 1, the Asher goalie could just go a really long way, honestly. It's really, really solid. It's hard to go wrong with it, especially on AtLab. You just kind of sit on one of the barriers and hold it down forever. Which is really nice, of course, to have. But looks like we're loading in right now, so we'll be looking at this draft in just a second.
It appears we're going to be taken to Night Market for this game. Okay, so that makes things a bit exciting, Love that little center section of Night Market, the speed boost and the little funny walls. They add a bit of a depth to this map for sure.
It looks like it does. Any hover.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much what you listed off there. Fontaine going for the first pick, looking to lock in the Asher. We'll see if Plink 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 is going to ban it out or not, though. See the Rasmus ban coming out from Space Train. And it will be a Rune ban. Wait a minute. That's interesting pick.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm not sure what that's about.
All of my preliminary research into these players, no show of Rune on any of their pages, so maybe they know something we don't, or maybe they're just as lost as we are with that ban. But we'll see. Is the X and Hell Mako coming out from that side?
That's like Giga Kitten comp coming out from Plink Plink Plink. I mean, it's really nice. Both sides have some pretty nice team comps here. I think Plink 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 is a little bit more tried and true with the Mako lockdown goalie. You have a little bit more risk, I think, to deal with. You have the Aimi and the Finny. A lot of offensive potential, but the X can really wreak some havoc, especially with the speed boost if Audnarb and Shiku cannot lock it in on the defense. It's definitely something that can crumble pretty quickly under like intense pressure, and especially if Hauteen has to fall back a lot. It's going to become very difficult with this now running around in the midfield to keep things held down. Prizefighter Monu start, by the way. Elwick and Katyusha going for the prizefighter. Everyone else on the big dinosaur.
Yeah, and that Monu might make that rune ban make a little bit more sense. Scared of, what rune can do with that. But as we're getting in here, we are kind of at what was a stalemate. But Elwick with a great ult punch reset strike is going to take that last barrier. And now the side of Chikara Space Train is open for core delivery. Chocobo Yao trying to find a way to get it back to Elwick. Not going to find it just yet. Finny ultimate does come out, gets it back into the hands of Oddnarb. Elwick in position trying to find something, but Chico is just in the right place for the clear. And now another clear down. Just rotating this core around. Flip does come out from Chocobo. Elwick looks for that strike right through, does not find it. Oddnarb ready to receive it. So now Elwick is positioned. The flip is used. Chocobo Yao in the perfect position to strike it in and taking the first point for Plink, Plink, Plink.
Well, unfortunate clears there. This is what we're talking about, right? Chocobo Yao has the speed to get in front of Shiku, and Oddnarb can't. It's gonna have a kind of a difficult time playing the corners against the X, especially without triple take is really the only big tool that you can use there, and even that's not necessarily reliable. A lot of damage coming out right now though from Shiku. Elwick in a bit of trouble, but we managed to pick up one barrier here and pop the X Maximus. Haltine coming back looking for the KO, but the barrier beam's not enough. Glitch pop's not quite enough either. This X looks like he's gonna get away with it. Play around the center for just a moment. Get that regen back up. But there it goes. Will find its mark. It's the power play. Chikara Space Train, core flip from Haltine, finds a second barrier. Some nice passing plays as well. And Haltine able to win the strike war to tie it up.
Hey, that it's that simple. Once they confirmed their KO, they were able to really just push onto this weakness without the X. There is this kitten comp is so strong, but if you are able to take out that pivotal member X of that comp, then Mako has tools to hold it down. But against three people, against an Asher and an Amy, who are both just so good at core control and abusing other characters and strikers, it's got your work cut out for you. So it seems like some KOs might be a good win con for this team with Finny on it. Oh, the double barrier.
Unfortunate McDouble is a little bit rough now. He's forced to defend on the open goal. Does have a flip to work with, but whiffs it, unfortunately. It's going to be Elwick. Push it up in this corner. Not going to be able to do much in the 1v3 here. Core flip burnt by Chocobo, but Haltine with the barrier beam blocks it and picks up a barrier to boot. Brings it to the bottom. Chocobo just can't quite catch up to it. Katyusha stuck on the other side of the turret just a little too long. Haltine gets it done. Brawlers get it done. Space Train on set point.
That KO earlier is just paying dividends for this team, because this X is currently walking around with what is a dead training at 0 prize fighters, and Haltine just proving that Asher's supremacy gets a KO. And now it is Plink, Plink, Plink in a power play position against them, but they do manage to find a way into the open goal of Chikara Space Train, and now Chikara Space Train is on the back foot as Chocobo Yao is back on the field. Mako Ultimate is going to come down. Katya is going to find a way out. Haltine, though, does have that flip. Ooh, Burns it is trying to respond to Katyu's flip, and now that is 2 flips off the board. Both brawlers are looking kind of low. Haltine with one of their dying breaths opens it up and starts regening now as Elwick and Chocobo Yao trying to find a way in. Shiku is going to burn the flip there. Glitch pop up to Chocobo Yao, not going to find it just yet. And Haltine is not able to confirm the KO on Elwick, who is just being tossed around for fun right now. Not able to be a part of the play, but trying their best to be.
Big finish coming out here. Going to overtime. Haltine with the dribble. Pass down to Shiku, looking for the Cyber Swipes, can be able to find it.
Very nice.
Not able to get the bounce that they were looking for. The primary doesn't quite reach it. And perfect setup for this Aimee. As you can see, Chikara Space Train bring it home, set 1. Haltine the MVP. Some huge awakenings. Stacks, Catalyst, Egoist, Big Fish, Fight or Flight. Hovering the Big Fish, but the Egoist and Catalyst are looking rather tasty. Gonna pass them up in favor of the size here. I think a difficult choice to make. It will be Egoist on the now, which is pretty scary. Catalyst could go over to this Mako, and it will, in fact, be Deadeye pick up on the Finny. And Fight or Flight also passed up by Chikara Space Train. It goes over to the X. I think Plink, Plink, Plink may have just got away with highway robbery there. They just got Catalyst, Egoist, and Fight or Flight, and they didn't win the set.
That is incredible that Fight or Flight fell all the way down there to X, which, I mean, yeah, took the slick kicks, which this is going to be a very strong X with the core control if he does get that core in his hands. As we can see, he is following it up the field now. The triple take does come down, not going to does find the clear. No barrier taken yet for either of them as they try to break open this last barrier. Elwick with the bell ringer, not going to find anything. Chocobo Yao trying to find a way through the triple take, does get it into Elwick's hands, but the big finish does come out. What a bounce. Katyu is not expecting it, and oh, there's that night market angle. The funny bounces that I was referring to earlier, just took their own barrier trying to make that clear. Now Shuke puts down the cat cannon, trying to find something, and the Asher primary is going to just get it through. That is a lot of shove into that goal. Chikara Space Train takes the first point of the set.
Indeed. Even with this, even with all the stuff that they have, Chikara Space Train still appearing to play a bit better on the day, piloting this comp quite well, keeping the aggression up, trying to keep Elwick out of the play as much as possible. Definitely good. And the prize fighter stacks have not been growing at all for Plink, Plink, Plink. They've been relatively dead awakenings on Elwick and Katyusha, who got kind of a little bit screwed over on the Monu start as well. So not a great start for them without the KOs able to come through here. And you have an open goal to work with. Plink, Plink, Plink might be able to make something happen, but with the Brawler dead, those dreams may be shattering a bit, as Shiku able to bring down one barrier. Coreflip's getting burnt here. Katyusha having to trade that to buy a bit of time. But Shiku and Audnard looking to keep the offense up. Elwick will come back online just in time, but now it's Chocobo, who's not looking too good.
Yeah, Chocobo, yeah, taken dangerously low, but hey, you're playing now. An ultimate, a secondary, and an orb are all you need to get back to full HP. Also giving some HP back to Elwick, who's now trying to form an offense, unable to find it as the clear gets down to Katyu. Core flip from Chocobo Yao is going to send it up to that top corner there. And that is going to be the second point now for Chikara Space Train. They are looking to potentially close out this second set.
Really good shot there from Shiku. Chocobo didn't quite get the secondary off in time to be able to block that one. And off to another great start here with one barrier, setting up the turret. Doesn't quite bring down the second one here. Elwick with the X Maximus looking to return the favor a little bit. Be able to even up the barriers a bit. Core flip coming out from Chocobo, but doesn't go very far. Unfortunately, going to get blocked out in the midfield. As now Hawteen looking to set up the pass splitter. It's huge with the Monu, and the second barrier will fall. Pass down to Shiku, looking to bring it back up to the Asher. Now Audnard looking up the midfield. The Bellringer's going to find the punish, though. And a core flip from Katyusha as Shaco makes the breakaway play. Pass up to Elwick. Core flip from Audnard. Is able to save it, but still in an open goal situation. The big finish comes out. They're looking to buy time. Shiku is back online. Elwick bull rushing up. Can't quite get the core, though. We'll have another chance in the corner. Has the bell ring come out. Audnard gets there in time. But Elwick able to recover it. Will win the strike war. And Plink, Plink, Plink. They're going to be able to put themselves on the board here. But in a bit of a do or die situation right now. The Space Train just needs one to end the set.
Yeah, Plink, Plink, Plink really does not want to see Chikara Space Train run away with another set. You know, X is famous for being a scaling character. Mako and Now, they all benefit so much from the trainings that they can get. So they are going to want to be fighting for their life to get here. And Hawteen, speaking of fighting for your life, is looking dangerously low, is put in jail for just a moment from the Mako, but is going to escape. Does have the core flip, so it might be a bit not wanting to use that just yet, but might be forced to. Does use it, does find a goal, but one barrier does go down in that sequence of events for Chikara Space Train. It's now an open goal from Plink, 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 and a power play for Chikara Space Train. This could be their last stand as the core flip does go off in the net, and a great strike coming out from Katyu is going to secure it as Chocobo Yao is back on the field. Audnard does have the core flip for the defense if needed, but Elwick and Katyu are now trying to core flip, use to KO and try and find the goal. This power play continues as Chocobo Yao is almost taken out as well. Glitch Pup dodges it, evades, but the Mako, betrayed by their own jail, is going to have the core ricochet off and into their own goal at that point. But I mean, there was a lot of pressure there already as Chikara Space Train take the next set.
Bit of a rough situation, certainly to be in. KO's coming through, and it's supposed to be Plink, Plink, Plink who are playing for that, but with between that 1-2 punch, I mean the Deadeye Finny, damage is really going to be in favor of Chikara Space Train. Timeless Creator, it's going to make that turret even more dangerous. See orbs here for the Mako is always a nice pickup. More size on Haughty, just building straight size. Didn't go for the
Big
Rampage
Asher.
though, interestingly enough. Went for the built different. Stagger Swagger on Chocobo is going to be more survivability team player here for Audnarb, and Rampage managing to make his way down to Elwick. Bit of an interesting draft. I feel like Rampage should have gone to the Asher instead, but either way, Space Train still basically is going to, I think, look to just do what they've been doing, and well, so far seems to be a mirror of the previous set, so I don't think they really care about if Elwick has Rampage.
Yeah, no, it is seeming like more of the same, like you said from last set, a KO on the midfielder, and they are able to explosively take over the field and score the first point of the set. Already, now Chocobo Yao is not ready to be out of this game yet, does put down a great now primary, does find one barrier for the trouble with the help of Elwick, and now Cat Yu and Chocobo are going to have to try to find a way to get this core back up to Elwick through Haughteen. Great Finny card keeps this core in play in the corner here on the side of Plink Plink Plink. Down through the center, Cat Cannon does come out, is going to find the barrier, core flip, and dead! The secondary, primary, and the Amy turret. That's a lot to deal with for poor Mako. Taken out, and this could be game point for Chikara Space Train.
And they've got some absolute momentum going right now, and really only catalyst left on Mako with the stacked awakenings getting reset there is definitely really rough to deal with. You're gonna have 3 flips as well up for Space Train here, and there we go. Shiku with the flip finds the KO as well, and Elwick not looking too healthy. The pass splitter sent him to the corner. Katyusha making a last stand on the top side, loses 1 barrier. Flip from Haughteen takes a second. The snare drums come out, but it's a formality at this point, it seems. Haughteen bringing it up to this corner. Shiku in position, but doesn't matter because Haughteen just wins those 1v3s and sinks in a dimer. That's Chikara Space Train. 3-0. They'll take it. They'll be moving on to our quarterfinals.
Well played from Chikara Space Train. They had a plan and they executed it well, along with executing many members of the Plink 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 team. It would appear 8 times, 8 KOs on the side of Chikara Space Train. They really made the most of those power plays, which, well played from them. And of course, you got to give it to Plink Plink Plink. They made it to 2 brackets, so they were, of course, a force to be reckoned with, but it seems that Chikara Space Train was just a bit of a bigger force here. So, GG's from them. There's always next week.
Yeah, they played it really well. Said at the beginning, that it's a bit of a difficult comp to run. Finny is not an easy character to play, and neither is Aimee to do it properly. And Chikara Space Train, well, they made it look easy. They absolutely shut out Elwick, held the X to just a goal and an assist, and 1 KO. 11,000 damage is very little for that character to get. And only 72, I guess that's kind of normal, but not very many damage and no goals. They did a very good job keeping the aggression up pretty much the whole game. So Haughteen did a great job as brawler with 109 redirects, which is more than the opposing goalie, which is kind of crazy.
Haughteen just masterful on the Asher, honestly. Exactly where to be, out of position, when to use abilities. Yeah. Well played, absolutely.
So they'll be moving on to face Chikara Mike Mart.
Yeah.
Which is just Ristel, renamed again. I don't know if they do that now, I guess. But yeah, they'll be moving on to face them. So the other matches still going for a bit, but should be wrapping up relatively soon. So with that, we'll be throwing it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be going into our quarterfinals. So stick around. All right, welcome back to the quarterfinals. We are ready to go now with Chikara ICBM versus 7-Star Strikers. We saw earlier in the night, Panacito, Yav, and Swampert Trooper had a bit of a game for themselves on Demon Days. Yav got KO'd quite a bit, but it looks like they've decided to go to AtLab for this bracket game. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of a better time in terms of surviving. And Chikara ICBM, Misael, Rico Polo, and Mad. Also some names that are, I think, relatively new, at least the bracket stage of the tournament. So either way, could end up being a bit of an interesting one, as both these teams are relatively new blood.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I can tell by doing a little bit of investigative journalism on all of these players is that there doesn't seem to be any like character pool overlaps, right? Panacito's got a lot of experience on the Asher and the Amy. Swampert Trooper looking like an Estelle player, liking Vice as of recent, and touches Era ever so often. And Yav 12, Rasmus Enjoyer, Amy Enjoyer. So I imagine we'll see one of those picks coming out, depending on the starting awakenings, of course. And that's 7-Star Strikers, but of course we've got Misael 8877. He's a bit of a Kazan lover. Look at that. Wow, yeah. And likes the Luna as well. And there's a Kazan van. All right. Yeah, looks like they're getting rid of Misael's Kazan. So hey, we'll see. Maybe they respond in kind, and there's the Asher. Yep, of course. All right. So that's 2 comfort picks down the drain. We'll have to see what these goalies decide to swap off to. It appears
I got banned against Panacito last time, and I opted for the Dubu. Swampert Trooper was on the Juno pretty consistently, it seems, and it's going for it here again. The double pick is for Chikara ICBM, because I mean, there's really a number of things that you can do. Anything's pretty much open here.
I would expect to see an Amy definitely coming out.
Yeah.
From Rico Pollo.
Wow, they had all the time. They used all the time. Wow, a rune pick and a Kai pick.
That rune's probably coming out from Mad, if I had to guess. So we'll see.
So not a rune goalie. And there's the Imi. Wow, that's a very interesting team comp.
Okay.
I guess it's Kai goalie, or it could be Kai or Imi goalie then. I mean, any of them could be the goalie, but I guess we'll check now. Okay, it is Kai goalie.
It is Kai goalie. Okay.
Misael got the boots. Everyone went rapid fire except Swampert Trooper went Catalyst.
It was a Catalyst rapid fire.
This might be like the one time you see 5 rapid fires and only 1 Catalyst, and the Catalyst is on the Juno, nonetheless. That's kind of crazy. But also Pummeler's Imi from Rico Polo. This is a really interesting Gear and Awakening start, I think.
Yeah, I am going to be watching Rico Pollo to see if they'll be trying to get some of those glitch pop secondary combos off, but they've already been comboed off the map by, I believe it was just the combined efforts of Yav and Swampert. Yav, of course, let's take those slick kicks, but Swampert's going to find the goal there. That's going to be 1 up for 7-Star Strikers, but I'm trying to rapid fire on everybody. No Catalyst. I mean, Catalyst seems like it would be such a great pick here for anybody. That's the kind of thing that you will only find here in OSAS is 5 rapid fires and 1 Catalyst on a Catalyst rapid fire start. That's crazy. As we get into this next point.
Yeah, absolutely. Rico Polo once again not looking particularly healthy here. Mad will hit level 2. Get access to that banish, so they bring down a barrier. There it comes out, gonna have the core in the top, but Rico Polo can't really get involved in the play. Fear of dying. Panacito will be able to clear that one out. Now Misael in a bit of a defensive situation. Nice core flip against the slime. Pass to Mad. The barrier will fall down, bring it down to the bottom. The pillar setup. Absolutely perfect. Shoot it right through Panacito. Really good rune play coming off of Mad there. Really good awareness. That's a lot of rune players that we see around this league tend to mess up stuff like that or not be aware of it, but this rune might be something to fear.
I'll give it to Mad there. If he didn't have rapid fire, that pillar would have been ready. All right, so hey, Who am I to say? Rapid Fire, great enticing pick for anybody who wants to get those primaries out. Misael proving it right there. Banish does come out onto Panacito. That's great. And that's just unfortunate positioning from Rico Pollo, and you know, that might be a problem later on with those pummelers, you know, as you aren't able to be as mobile and get out of the way of that black hole as you might want to. But they're back on the field now, ready to show us what they can do with those pummelers on the IME.
Nice glitch pop to set up Mad. The barrier will fall. Pillar on the top side. Core flip gets it through Swampert Trooper. Sinks it right into the bottom side. Mad making some big plays up in the corner there. I think Panacito was too scared to bring it, to clear it across the goal in fear of a pillar getting dropped there once again, so opted for the corner. But Mad was ready for that. Mad is the real scorer here. But as you were mentioning a moment ago, I'm a little bit worried about Rico Pollo, who's kind of been the one getting KO'd, which is obviously not what you want to see when you have the pummelers. Finally,
never seen
yeah, I mean,
ultimate used like that before.
Ultimate caster cursed right there though. But yeah, finally gonna get to see some of that pummeler speed come online with the power play here from Chikara ICBM.
Absolutely. It's now Yav is back on the field. I mean, after being KO'd to an IME turret pointed right at them, the pummelers really does come in clutch there. The core is going fast now, though. Yav does use the ultimate to try and find something off of it. Not going to find it just yet. Now both teams try to set up their positioning. This rune forward is going to have to be trying to find a lot of banished setups, I believe. Yeah, and there we go, one on the goalie. But unfortunately, the core was not moving there just yet.
Nice Giga Blast. How almost demon angles themselves, but luckily we'll be able to recover. The slime going for the top. Missile able to react. Matt setting up the pillar on the top side. Everyone is fighting the rune pillar. Strike more the rune pillar. Challenge impossible, apparently. The barrier falls down, but they get a power play. Nice barrage from Missile, but Yav, good recovery. Brings it to the bottom. The 7-star strikers will be able to tie it up now on set point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a play that I generally would recommend playing into the rune pillar like that, just trying to strike war it, because if it fully forms, it's not going away until it's done, right? You can't outstrike it. So, you know, maybe some adjustment it will be found there, but a banish does come out, is going to try to take out Yav, not going to find it just yet. Misael is going to try and find a way to get it down to his team. Core flip does come out from Swampert Trooper. Yav is looking dangerously low, though. They try to set up positioning for themselves to find a way out of this. Yeah, being bounced around and she walks right into the pillar. It's now a power play for the side of 7-star strikers.
Mad does have a flip here to work with as well. This Missile bringing it up to the top. Looking to play this corner. The pillar set up to pass Yav here, but looks like 7-star strikers is able to recover here. Core flip coming out. Mad able to get the barrier. The fake out with the banish. Will be an open goal. Rico Pollo can't quite find the flip, but they'll have another opportunity here in the top side, dropping the firewall sentry. Panacito having to play the corner, a nice slime for an extra hit, but Rico Pollo passed to Mad, and it's a clean setup. All of 7-star strikers caught lacking on the top side to cover the corner, did not cut the pass. Some really nice plays coming out from Chikara ICBM as Mad gonna be the rightful MVP here. Hot shot, 1-2, cast to last. Some really nice stuff on the board here.
I mean, if I'm a rune, I'm a bit pleased. I've got my pick of like what kind of build direction I want to go here. Of course, it's going to be Hot Shot. That is, I think, the best rune option that you go for. Chrono Boost, a great pickup on Rasmus. I am a little surprised that we're not looking at Rampage there, but that's fine. 1-2 punch does fall down to the Juno, which is a very strong pick on that character. Arrows on the Kai, of course. You can't sneeze at that. That's just better dash and better projectiles. So that Kai is going to be a threat now. Siege Machine on this Pummeler's Amy turret. We'll see how well that treats the team of 7-star strikers. And a Castellas on the Dubu makes that roll just a little bit more menacing and hard to plan around, right? As we get into this next point, though, both barriers have gone down for the side of Chikara ICBM, and it is an open net, with one barrier still standing for 7-star strikers.
Now, the Castellas is actually pretty good on Dubu. You got a lot more time to deal with the stun, and just having the soup in the log last longer as well is generally really nice. It's a bit of an underrated, I think, awakening on the character, but looks like both sides opened up now. Yeah, looking to make a bit of a play in the bottom. The pillar set up. The slime going to rotate it up to the top. Missile is fast enough to catch up to it. The black hole Cutting the pass a little bit here. Core flip from Swampert Trooper sends it up to Yav on the top side. Missile able to recover that though. Get it back in the midfield. But able to move. Yav with the hook play. Can't find the strike though. And it'll go back around. Panacito on the defense. Rico Polo with the pass up to Mad. Swampert Trooper gets there in time, but the banish comes out. Fed to the turret. Mad making the plays on the rune. Getting the goalie out of there. And Chikara ICBM score once again.
Yeah, and you know, Lego, that's exactly what you're wanting to look for as the rune sort of like forward brawler archetype. You're trying to find those cheeky banishes on the goalie when your midfielder, you know, has a bit of core control. The goalie supporting them. You're going to be looking for those setups, and Matt just executed that perfectly off of Rico Polo and Misael's push. Now, as we get into this next point, though, there's a lot of core flips on the board. One is burned there. Great blink from Rico Polo. Now that's an open net with a core flip. The glitch pop does come out, but Yav is going to respond in kind, taking one down. Taking two down, and it's open net on either side. It could be anyone's point here.
Yeah, nice shot in position. Missile able to block it though. He's got the whiplash up, but the Giga gets it out of there. Yeah, keeping the pressure up on the bottom side. Missile goes for the Soren angle, but the mouse is too far back. There's a bit of an own goal there. Yav's relentless assault tripped up Missile just enough that the wires got crossed and was not able to make the clear, unfortunately, in the right direction.
Man, just unfortunate. I've done that myself plenty of times. You know, you have your mouse position just a little bit off from hitting that Soren angle, and it's unfortunate. It's something that you got to get really used to. But both barriers are down now. Those cheeky Juno slimes, something you got to watch out for. And wow, just an incredible demon angle coming out from Swampert Trooper is going to give 7-star strikers the lead here now in this set. You know, hoping to take one for themselves.
Big breath of life. Certainly, and a really good kickoff here from Swampert Trooper. Both barriers down, a death touch from Yav as well. Keep the pressure up. You got the core flip to work with. They got to get the core back off their side of the field here. They could have a pretty good opportunity to end this set now. It's Yav with the breakaway play, have the whiplash up. The Black Hole interfering quite a bit though. The banish comes out. Pillar setup will not kill just yet. Yav clinging on to life. A nice strike shot from Panacito. Gets it back out. Core flip from Yav. They can't quite find the angle here. Be able to get some orbs and recover a bit, but the barriers are under pressure here from 7-star strikers. Yav with the great death touch.
Wow.
Able to beat out the strike. Pulls it out of the barrage and just makes the plays. Yav gets it done. 7-star strikers will take the set. Swampert Trooper's the MVP here. And for the Juno. Oh, and a couple of big ones. Perfect form. Could be a tasty pickup.
And it does look like that is going to... Oh, we're going to swap the Timeless Creator, though, potentially thinking about the implications that might have for Rune. But Perfect Form is also great on Rune, so I'm expecting to see Rasmus pick up that Perfect Form. Yep, exactly. Glass Cannon onto the Kai. That's not a bad pick. You want your goalie to have something like that. Reverb going to go down onto the Rune. I'm not too certain about the scaling on Rune's HP precisely, but I mean, that's just a great scaling item that you want going into the game, especially on this map where damage is abundant. And of course, Unstoppable going down to Rico Polo, and I don't know how I feel about the Deadeye pick on the Dubu. There's probably some, you know, interactions where it might proc, especially, you know, you throw out a log. I'm not sure if when the log is placed, if it still gets that Deadeye proc, but, you know, we'll see. It might have been a deny off the Amy, because of course that's a very killer looking Amy, but we'll see. As we get into this point now, there's a core flip on Mad, open goal for 7-star strikers. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely a deny there. Though I think the Unstoppable might have just been a more consistent pick. A nice flip here from Swampert Trooper to sink it in. The top side, making good use of that Catalyst start as well. This guy's just going to have him flip up so much more often as well. And also, I mean, you're dealing with the Kai and a Rune. You're stepping on the Rune pillars. You're getting energy from that. Kai's throwing out barrages and stuff. You're getting energy from that. And you're just hitting the core quite a lot as well, just with Juno in general. So you're just eating a lot of energy. One barrier going down here off of Yav. Core flip coming out from Mad. Goes for the banish into flip. The log was a good placement, though, from Panacito. We'll be able to hold that one down. But Rico Polo making some plays on the top side. This one in return. To start him off. A really unfortunate bounce there, though, from the side of Chikara ICBM. Forces out the core flip from Missile. The Slime keeping the pressure up, and another core flip now up for Swampert Trooper. Yav in the bottom side has the Slime support. It's playing it patiently. Core flip from Swampert Trooper's got the Slime in position. The Giga Blast will go wide. And another point here for 7-star Strikers.
Yeah, and I'm just... Misael is taking a bit too much liberty with how safe he thinks his barriers are. There's been multiple times this game so far where I have seen him think that the core was not going to touch his barrier, think it was going to be safe, only to walk away, grab an orb or something, only to get punished for that, for misreading where the core was going. So that is a potential adjustment that needs to be taken out. But that is Siege Machine. Pummeler's Ivy Turret just... Wait, no. That was Mad dying. Oh no, how did that guy die?
That was Dubu.
That's the Deadeye difference.
Deadeye Dubu.
Oh my goodness. That is back, but a barrier was lost for that KO. Incredible from them is now the play is reset.
Barrier will fall down. Nice strike shot from Panacito. Gets it up to Yav. The dribble off the bumper. Doesn't quite get the angle for the point, though. The banish coming out, but Matt has to contend with the soup. Will buy a bit of time. Panacito to get out of there. Firewall Sentry is in place. A lot of damage onto Mad here. Yeah, looking to make a play, but the Giga Blast will shut it down. Now hovering to KO. Potentially here for Mad. The Slime bringing it down to the bottom side. So can't quite get the angle. For another power play here for the side of 7-star Strikers. Rico Polo and Missile just looking to buy some time. With Mad offline. Core flip from Swampert Trooper. Takes the angle perfectly. It rides the wall. Missile. Nothing to do about it in overtime. And 7-star Strikers, they'll take another one. The Juno once again at the top of the pack.
I mean, before we get into draft here, just real quick, 7-star Strikers is the only non-Chikara team left. They might be fighting to prove a point here that this is not a Chikara quarterfinals. As now the Egoist does go down to the Juno. That is Egoist and Catalyst. That is a little bit of a mini Exodia on this Juno, who is already running away with the game. Team player onto this Kai, get the core out just a little bit better. I like it. Missile prop on this Dubu, and now that is a Deadeye missile prop strike shot Dubu. That is some sort of crazy win con that only Panacito would have found there. Super Surge on the Amy, who wants to kill. Great pickup, and then Primetime on Rune. This is annoying. And of course, Rasmus now has size. That is a great enabling awakening for Yav to have chosen here. But he's not going to be able to use it because he's dead. As that Rico Polo takes one, takes two. The cannon goes down. Mad trying to support this push. They are going to save it for now. Glitch Pop does come out. Yav is back online. And now they are trying to fight a way out of this situation.
Yeah, now Rico Polo bring it up here to the top side. Death Touch from Yav will bring it back. Able to recover a little bit here. 7-star Strikers looking to set something up. The Juno ult will be enough to open the goal now. And with the core flip up, does actually burns it, but doesn't need it because Missile actually lost against the Slime anyway. So 7-star Strikers continuing their warpath. And yeah, Panacito, definitely a very interesting Dubu build. I mean, the strike shot goes pretty far now, and so does the soup.
Wow. Yeah, what a kill from Rico Pollo. You know, that's the Pummelers, and yeah, you know, the Pummelers difference on that core flip just pushed them just a little bit further, far enough to get the kill. Yav is back online though, but a great just great game sense from Mad throwing out the banish, but fortunately the team is able to keep this point alive for now, and a Juno Slime is going to just send it back out there. This Swampert Trooper Striker is just going crazy with the slimes. You know, that Timeless Creator must be paying dividends with how long these slimes are able to stay out and be a problem for Chikara ICBM.
Yeah, they definitely don't seem to have a solution for Swampert Trooper. Kind of owning the midfield, really. They do not have the damage to KO him. Juno has a lot of swagger as well. Yeah, fighting the Rune Pillar here. But when Mad can get the core, he can cook, but Swampert Trooper can also, as well as Yav, are both kind of cooking Missile. Not a lot of defensive answers here for the Rasmus, but both sides locked to their single barriers right now. A nice roll from Panacito. Still keeping the barrier up. Swampert Trooper does have to burn the flip on defense there, just to stay alive a little bit, keep the goal closed. A nice pass with Slime, but keeping it in midfield. Panacito waiting a bit too long for the pillar to come out. A nice triple banish, but not able to get the core here. Mad still making the psychological plays at this point.
Oh,
With those pillars and stuff. Fortunate whip flip there. But yeah, looking to bring down the second barrier. Pendulum swing will do it or ricochet off the bumper. Now Swampert Trooper slime to the top, but doesn't need it. Gets the overtime
oh my
speed,
goodness.
and it's enough to sink it past two of them. 7-star strikers, they'll take it home all the way. 3-1. They'll be moving on to the semifinals.
You know, that the Juno got 1-2 punch and it became too much core speed and just general slimery for Chikara ICBM to deal with. I mean, Sayal already had so much on his plate with Erasmus that had gotten size. It's just too much. I mean, look at that Swampert Trooper with the 8-1 goals. Look at that goal participation. Incredible. I mean, truly a maestro on this Juno. 141 redirects. Great showing, really, from 7-star strikers.
Yeah, I'm liking what I was seeing there. Yav played really well to get it around Missile a lot. Mad, though, actually had a pretty good game there. Was definitely making some good plays on the rune, but I think once Swampert Trooper really came online, it became extremely difficult to control that midfield. Because, like, you don't have a brawler. You kind of have two midfielders, but one of them's kind of a fake midfielder, and one of them is kind of going for, like, damage, but not able to sustain the damage. So it was becoming very... like, there was nowhere to feed the core to. You're just feeding it to Rune, but Rune only has a couple tricks, really, and if there's Juno and Dubu there locking down the corner, Rune just simply doesn't have enough hits to get it through all the creations at the end of the day. Even with a pillar, which we saw a few times, but
yeah,
pretty good game nonetheless. Yeah.
You touched on something that was pretty important, and that I think is the little bit of lacking of cohesion between the sort of game plan that we saw. You know, Rico Pollo pulling out the pummelers Amy, and of course Mad running the slick kicks Rune. It's just two conflicting ideas of what you want to do. They're trying to double dip, and you can't really do that in this game. You got to have a strict game plan that, you know, you can adapt upon. And while it might seem tempting, this is what you'll see, unfortunately, is a Juno who will just run through your inability to position because you're not looking for that sort of thing. So, you know, just well played, 7-star strikers. And Chikara ICBM, of course, I'm sure they will be back with a lesson learned. So I'm excited to see how far this team of 7-star strikers makes it in the Chikara bracket.
Yeah, well, with that, they're going to be facing off against Chikara Mike Mart in the semifinals and a chance to qualify. But coming up next, it looks like Chikara Girls versus Chikara Clinkers will be the match that we're going to. So we're going to be throwing into a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have our semifinals, which are our qualifying matches. So winners will make it in. Losers go to the third place tiebreaker. So be back in just a minute.
See you soon.
Hello everyone, we are back with the final 3 matches of today in OSAS. I'm here with number 1 Twitch chatter. It's not even close. It is Phoenix Flare. How are you doing today?
Oh my god, I am doing fine. I am doing nervous, but I am also doing very, very ready to get this going.
Yeah, and since you've watched a lot of Omega Strikers on this channel, on ETOS, anywhere, any big opinions as we head on to Atlas Lab?
At the moment, not so much. I am looking for Kyo to kind of impress us with the era. I know I've seen them. I've seen Vic Blade before. The other team, not so much. I am just honestly expecting a lot out of Vic Blade. That's my big thing.
Makes a lot of sense. And they're banning away the Juno here. They don't want to play against it. A bit of a swap, perhaps, as they're trying to get that Vic Blade priority on the Centauro, but it's banned away as well.
Boom!
Well, it kind of seems like they're aware of the plan, just like you are. But we've seen Vic Blade succeed on other brawlers too, right?
We have indeed. And oh, looky there! It's X.
And it's Era. X Era coming through, perhaps, for this team. Unless Girls denies it here. It might happen.
We are going to see, but no.
That's Aimi Mako on the other side. Aimi Mako Estelle also looking quite strong. It's double midfield, which has me a little bit concerned on the scoring power, but against an Era goalie, it might just be enough as we're heading right into it.
All right, here we go. They set up Ember Monarchs, so let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, Ember Monarchs, but usually see Kai in the goalie position in that case. Maybe Era's better, though. I've heard whisperings of goalie being Era's best role by quite a bit, as, like we mentioned earlier, Shadow and Arcmeister on the double midfield, and Shadow already brought low. Interesting comp. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, okay, both barriers already down. Shadow lurking, trying to get a one-on-one going. Yes, quickly.
Yeah, but
God.
look at that. Captain Yes actually barraged backwards and made it an amazing save for the side of the Chikara Clinkers.
Yep.
But look at that. It's Shadow right back in it with the cyber swipe. An awkward first point, I think, overall, but they got it done.
They got it done. They gotta answer back, though.
Yeah, they really do, as early glitch pop Shadow trying to look for these barriers early, but that impatience might cost them. But a double barrier, well found, and suddenly this point has turned completely around.
This is not a great start for them, but they are still in it. They are still fighting. This is only game. This is only game 1, so we're gonna see set 1. Oh god!
Oh no!
Kyone with a bad. Kyone with a bad, just slightly off angle, own goal. Not good.
Really trying to go for a dribble off the bumper to try and save it at the last possible moment, but yeah, it ends up in an own goal. And it does have the flip available, but it's 2-0 in the favor of Chikara Girls. But look at the KO from Vic Blade. You mentioned Vic Blade's name as the player to watch, and, well, the barrier's still down. Uh-oh.
Yep, barriers are still down. It's 2-on-2. Vic Blade trying to make something happen. Kyone bouncing it around, trying to stall for time. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that's a flip, but blocked away by the center black hole, as Vic Blade's the one looking low along with Arcmeister, but the mobility is letting the double midfield push up so quickly. And now in the bottom corner, good passing plays coming out from Chikara Girls. Kyone with the clear, but another glitch pop. Good strike war by Kyone, but the Firewall Sentry will catch the core just in time. Really tough defense for Chikara Clinkers. It seems like the Chikara Girls have been on the offense for most of this game.
Definitely, and with Archmeister looking low, they have to play a little bit careful. Captain making a statement. Vic Blade on the attack. Nope, they get it out. Nearly, Kyone barely manages to save it that once, but no. Okay.
What was
very, very nervous.
That was such a crazy bounce. It bounced exactly off the corner, and corners are fake, and Omega Strikers. A passing play from Captain Yes to Vic Blade to seal that point, to put Chikara Clinkers on the board. And this is kind of Chikara Clinkers you expected, right?
Yep, this is what I was looking for Vic Blade to kind of just assert dominance, really. That was the kind of idea that I was looking for, and hopefully if they can get that game plan going, they can shake it back. But right now, Shadow trying to make sure that that does not happen. Pops the center, but wow, weird core flip, but hey, it works out for a little bit at least.
Godzilla held that barrier for so long. but it'll finally go down. Vicblade has the flip, but Shadow's right there with the cyber swipe. All the barriers are down now. Both teams in a lot of trouble.
It is going to be a very, very weird start. Or not! Good angle by Captain. Manages to just take it in. Slipped past him.
Yeah, and
2 and 2.
with the game evened up, it's kind of hard to imagine a world in which this game was 2-0 favor of Chikara Girls. They've been struggling to score. They do find an early barrier, though. And Shadow on that defensive play on that last point struck early, kind of gave Captain Yes an angle on the bottom corner. So that's something, maybe a point of improvement for next flip defense. As one barrier goes down, two barriers go down, a KO found. But Shadow needs to get it past here, or else Kione is going to find a huge flip.
Yep, we've got a 3-on-2 power play. This is their opportunity. Oh, nope. Kione is right there, sets up the Typhoon, sets up the Whirlwind. Archmeister flips it to get it out of that situation, and they stay on the attack. Captain and Kione kind of playing double goalie. Does not work out. They get both barriers. They are desperate. Flips in their face. Nothing you can do. Shot. Goal. Set.
Big set win here for the Chikara Girls. It was looking shaky. They lost 2 points in a row, but they seal it in the end, and that's the first pick available for Arkmeister here on the Estelle. Nothing too crazy for Estelle in this draft, but Arrows is always a solid pickup, or it could be the stacks to deny away the Era goalie. Kione not going to be sad about that at all either on the Era goalie, especially stacks on stacks allowing you to get out there, really control the map as 1-2 punch and extra special are traded, but in a bit of a weird order. Really going for KOs here is Shadow, but I kind of expected the extra special for that Fireball Sentry, and as team player also falls down in the draft, I think everyone's pretty happy with this one.
It's pretty even. I am kind of a little bit surprised, like you said. I'm surprised Shadow didn't try to block the extra special off from Vicblade, but we're going to see how that works out as he gets the first barrier, muscles it in along with Captain Yes, just making sure, trying to keep that offense going. Nope, Black Hole pops and gets it under their side. Double barrier!
That was
and they have to get it out real quick. Sorry.
That was Godzilla with the team player from across the map. 2 barriers down. And now Kiene's in a lot of trouble. Of course, this double midfield composition sometimes struggles to score, but if you're against an Era goalie, one of the goalies with the least defensive tools, especially anti-stuff, you could be in a lot of trouble here. A great blink by Arkmeister with the aerials range. And that's another point for the Chikara Girls.
Simple and clean sometimes. That's all you need is a good angle and a good shot. So let's see what they can do now. Quick speed boost off the jump. Kione trying to keep it off their side real fast. Yes, and Vicblade push it up, get the barrier. Yes, in a little bit of control, not for long. Oh, almost sad boys, not quite. Double barrier for Archmeister with the Rose Warp. Gets that, but responding is Vicblade trying to kill, but not quite. Captain Yes keeps it pushed up. Vicblade waiting in the wings. Oh, not quite bad tornado, just quite missed it.
Yeah, and Kione gets it out somehow. A bit of a series of scary events. An amazing glitch pop by Shadow reads the clear. Bit of autopilot from the Era goalie there. And Chikara Girls continue their lead. One set up, looking to make it 2 as another kickoff comes. And Arkmeister is looking at that flip as well. Something you got to be scared of.
Yeah, they've got to shake back and they've got to do it quick. They do not want to get They do not want to get 2 and out. They do not want to get 2 and out. And I feel like they almost know that. They're trying to control the core a little bit more. They're trying to make sure they have it in hand before they go on any offense. Just from what I'm seeing here, not quite enough. Flip after barrier. Tornado gets sent out, but that's not enough. Shadow and Arkmeister trying to commit offense. Vicblade manages to score 1 barrier. Vicblade is trying to assert his dominance. Gets the second barrier. Yes, making sure it does not go too much further in the backfield, but Archmeister is pushing. They're all pushing. Kione making sure that barrier does not fall.
Yeah, and now Arkmeister and Shadow have to be a little bit careful because Shadow's a bit low, but so is Captain Yes. They find a shot around 2 somehow, and now Kione's in a lot of trouble. Patient dribbles on the goal. Godzilla with the team player, always a threat, and that Giga Blast from Captain Yes was perfect. Found the pass to Vicblade somehow through all of the chaos. And once again, it is Chikara Clinkers coming back after being down 0-2.
Hey, if if they fight from down under better, then so be it, so long as they win it out. Vic Blade knocks it against the black hole intentionally, try and get a little bit of early offense going. It's always been, oh, sad boys!
Bit of a sad boys angle as that barrier's not found. Vic Blade has to waste the flip to stay alive. But Q&A saving one barrier, not saving two, as Shadow looking for strikes around absolutely everybody. Creative angles from Shadow will take the barriers, but a strike war from Q&A will seal it. But no, it's Arkmeister setting up past Captain Yes, perfectly placed. And once again, Chikara Girls will be the ones to take the set. They're up 2-0 now.
All right. They are going to hope this draft is really good. I am seeing Super Surge, I am seeing Address, I am seeing Rampage, I'm seeing a lot of good things if they can get it.
Yeah, Might of the Colossus could be a potentially big pick later on in the draft. Chrono Boost actually denied away from both buff midfielders on the side of Chikara Clinkers. They both like that Chrono, as Might of the Colossus being looked for here will be denied. It is denied by Godzilla, a great pick. Rampage is great too, however, so I don't think Vic Blade's going to be too sad about that one, but Godzilla getting that Might of the Colossus means even more team player speed.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Girls got the better of that draft myself, but who knows? Maybe they can get something going regardless.
Maybe they can, as the barriers are traded. Godzilla sitting awkwardly with the open net, but has plenty of size to cover it. Pass down to Arkmeister. The core already moving so fast on these passes, making it easy for them to navigate around the immobile X. Vic Blade trying to get into position, has the bull rush lined up perfectly with Captain Yes. And that will be the first point here. Breaking the trend is Chikara Clinkers. Maybe they'll turn the game around.
Yeah, I really like how K&A set up the Typhoon, at least that's what I call it, to make sure that that core stayed going forward. And Vic was just in the perfect place to receive it.
Yeah, those kind of situations are what you pick the Era goalie for. That backup, another great NATO, and despite the Sad Boys angle, they still managed to get both. K&A has the flip available, could make this set a short one, but watch out. Shadow pushing forward, Vic Blade to the top side, faking bottom, but Godzilla doesn't get faked out, finds the save, and now Chikara Girls are back. They got possession, they got a glitch pop, they're looking for the lineup, but not quite yet.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Arsh hanging on by a thread. K&A managed to keep it out for a little bit longer, keeping it out for a little bit longer. Archmeister very low. Oh, jeez! Beautiful snipe. Beautiful. What was that, the glitch pop?
No, it was actually a strike by Shadow. I think the snipe from Arkmeister didn't hit the core, but it scared K&A so much that Shadow was able to just sink it in with a strike war. And we're seeing Shadow's strikes be really nice again in this offense.
Yes, Shadow is just like looming in the goalpost, just a constant threat. And that is probably why those glitch pops come out of nowhere, those cyber swipes can come out of nowhere, and they can just prove a hassle to defend against. One minute she's there, the next she's not. But they are trying to keep it up. We have open goal on one side. Girls still have a barrier. Oh, jeez, please.
Yeah,
dead.
That KO might make the difference here as Captain Yes tries to push forward, but you gotta watch out. Godzilla still has that team player and plenty of power. They could score in the open net. Shadow with a cyber swipe will erase Captain Yes from the map as Vic Blade pushes forward but cannot get it through. Flip has to be burned by K&A, but just waits patiently and is in so much trouble now. Vic Blade has the flip available, but there's still a barrier left on Godzilla as they push forward. A team player speed to the top side. A glitch pop from Shadow to take the points. And once again, K&A kind of predictable with the clears here. Shadow capitalizing on all of that.
Yeah, and now look at what we got here. Match point for Girls. We need to see if they can finish it off right here. Black hole gone. Captain Yes moving it, pushing it. They get a barrier down, trying to keep it forward. Vic Blade very, very low, manages to flip, gets the barrier. Vic Blade pushing, but gets pushed out by Archmister. Archmister gets pushed out by Captain. It is a power play, 3-on-2. They can just bully it in, and they do. Captain with Vic Blade behind him, making sure that Godzilla cannot respond. They are not ready to go gentle into this good night just yet.
Yeah, but the Chikara Girls have been in the situation before. They've been up, they've been even. Later on, and they've won these 2 points. But Vicblade trying to make it a little different here. Managed to survive that last point. So is looking quite large, but watch out, is Shadow looking for the strikes. And the barriers will be traded on each side.
Okay. We've got Kione trying to do their best to keep this forward play off. Vicblade manages, I believe, to knock it forward. Captain, yes, bullies it into the barrier. Bullies it. Oh, not quite past both of them. Flips, goes for the shot, doesn't quite get it. Archmeister is low. Shadow is low. They have to play careful. Godzilla is not looking too healthy either. Almost Sad Boy's angle doesn't get the barrier, however. Vicblade looming. Nearly goes for the kill. Flip by Shadow, gets it out there. Oh my god! The cyber swipe, perfect time! Kione has no response. It's over.
What an amazing setup by Shadow. Flips it around the black hole, sets it up perfectly. Just a self-pass across the entire map with the cyber swipe.
Man, I can just score. I can pass to myself. I can score myself. I'm a one-person team.
That's
Absolutely.
That's a fantastic clip right there. Like, holy moly, what a goal to end it on. And with that, the Chikara girls qualify for the finale later on in the season. They don't have to fight in these weeklies anymore. Well played from them.
Yeah, it's not quite over, however. We do, I believe, still have that third place tiebreaker.
No, we have one more. We have 7-star
one more before
strikers
that?
versus Mike Mart, and then it's the tiebreaker
All
with
right.
the losers from the
Okay.
two.
All right. Gonna be looking forward to that. 7-star strikers. Very fun last match.
Yep, and we'll have to see if they have a lobby here, but, well, we'll be heading to a very, 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 very short break. And we'll be right back.
Yep, stay tuned.
Hello everyone, we're back once again. We got 7-star strikers versus Chikara Mike Mart, and in a sea of Chikara team, 7-star strikers stands alone as one of the 4 remaining. The question is, can they qualify and prevent a Chikara sweep this week, or will they fall to Chikara Mike Mart and Chikara Clinkers later on if they do happen to lose? I'm here with Phoenix Flare, and you were a little bit more excited about this one.
Yeah, I was very impressed by what I saw with these 7-star strikers. They had some incredible passing. Swampert in particular, in my opinion, blew the roof off with that Juno play. I am kind of hoping to see more of that, but at the same time, I am also concerned, like, if Chikara Mike Mart's been doing their homework, they might be prepped for that in one way or another. So it seems like we're going to Atlas Lab.
That's a pretty fine assumption. Atlas Lab is a popular map, and we are indeed going to Atlas Lab. That is what is being picked here. And speaking of general map pool things, right? Atlas Lab, of course, a very neutral map. People will just pick it. People won't be too mad about going to it. And I don't really think in Modern Omega Strikers there's a real equivalent to Atlas Lab. Like, there's no second vanilla map in the game.
No, I actually have to agree with that. Like, pretty much every other map has its own little quirks and idiosyncrasies that make it so you kind of have to, you have to play to the map a little bit. Like, obviously, everybody has their favorites, the people that they can gel with, but sometimes if you're going to, like, Night Market, some picks are going to be better than others.
Yep, absolutely. That speed is a little game warping, a little important. And of course the closed off lanes, but we're here on Atlas Lab, a map where most of anything is possible. Of course, some stuff is still better, but it's not nearly as much. And like you said, they did their research. That's the Juno gone.
But hey, can't blame them a bit. So let's see. Also, I noticed they kind of banned Aimee. It seems like they were more scared of Chikara's Aimee than they were of, you know, like, losing it themselves. So you see, like, Panacito switch to the Asher, not exactly a bad choice. And Swampert going on, seems like their backup is Estelle.
Yeah, definitely a fine pick. Can be played almost anywhere to solid effect. But Estelle Rasmus hovered by Swampert and Yav12. And Estelle Rasmus picked by Chikara Mike Mart. A double steal in the draft.
And going again, some more backups.
What?
Swampert goes for the Era?
Era Kai? Really weird double midfield. Kai scorer is what they're going for, I guess. 7-star strikers.
Okay. We're going to see how it works out. But no, switch out to now. But, okay, so just, excuse me, looking at this, 7-star strikers, a lot of survivability, just off the rip. I mean, Asher, stagger for days. Now is queen of the, I'm at low stagger? No, I'm not. I'm at full health. What are you talking about? So we're going to have to see if Mike Mart can deal out the damage to handle that. And I mean, Friendly Taco has that Rasmus. I think they may be able to. We're going to have to see how it goes. And here it goes.
Yeah, Rasmus has kind of skyrocketed from being like a secret damage character to everyone knows this guy does damage type of character. It's kind of crazy how his damage is at the moment. And of course, Estelle also great at securing kills, does a ton of chip. But Friendly Taco's the one being chipped down right now. Panacito, of course, with the barrier beam, going to be very good at doing that on the defense. As Mike Mart, the titular character, is ironically name off on the Dubu.
Yeah, and right now, like, Friendly Taco seems to be getting a little targeted. Runs into the boost. Make sure that isn't a fact. Oh, jeez, they nearly get Mike Mart, don't relent. They did not. That would have been surprisingly quick for my taste.
Yeah, Mike Mart manages to defend, gets it away, but a great Giga Blast by Yav sets up another opportunity. Friendly Taco with the hook, blocked away by the barrage of Yav. A flip from the midfield, pass up, but just goes around the world. Swampert Trooper, Friendly Taco picks up the core, doesn't take a shot though, and a great elusive into a strike from Panacito. Gets it out of there. Plenty of good saves to be had in this game so far as Panacito gets another one out of there, and the defense is looking impeccable from both sides.
Yeah, this might end up being a defensive war if they keep as they are been. but right now it is in Chikara's backfield. They are doing their best to push it up. They manage to. Shield comes out by Panacito. Whew.
Yeah, Friendly Taco, another chance at a goal here, and it'll actually be some assistance from Azrael as well that helps get it in there. I gotta say, well played in terms of possession by Friendly Taco and Azrael, but Friendly Taco, I think, had like 4 different times they had a shot on the open net, and they kind of didn't aim it to the corner, so that's something that could be a huge change because Chikara Mike Mart, I think, they had the control for most of that.
Yep, quick barrier to go down though. Quick flip to try and secure the second one, which they do. Panacito make sure tries and hike it out. They need to answer back very, very fast. Jeez, what was that? That was a flip kill?
Yeah, flip kill, and also the flip kept Yav alive because Friendly Taco had that pendulum swing ready to KO the Kai. And this should be a good point for the 7-star strikers, but as the respawn comes in, they haven't really found anything at all.
Oh, Yav is on death's door. Has to play very careful. Oh, that nearly goes in. Friendly Taco and Azrael making sure that Panacito is not sitting still. Panacito pushes it out. Whew.
Yeah, it was a really tough spot as now Friendly Taco is looking for a shot to the top side this time. Will not miss. 2-0. Chikara Mike Mart looking good as they're just up. They're looking to take this first set and maybe even make it a quick game.
Yeah, but I do not imagine 7-star strikers will want that to happen. So they're going to need to turn it up. They're really going to need to turn it up. Shield comes out, lower angle, tries to make sure to keep it forward. Yeah, 12 pushing it, gets it past, and gets the first barrier. Staying low. Trooper still in. Yav is kind of starting to get hurt. Yav is getting thrown around a little bit, but hey, it's now.
Yeah. Oh, but look at that. Yav gets absolutely blown up. Even the healing doesn't seem to do enough at that moment. But the Kai still pushing, looking to the top side, doesn't get the primary, but Swampert Trooper pushes it forward. The barrage misses, though. That could have been really bad for Mike Mart as Azrael and Friendly Taco flip available. Bottom side blocked away by the defenses of the 7-star strikers. They're trying to extend this point, but the center blowing up means everyone is brought so incredibly low. And now a dribbling play from Friendly Taco, but the primary from Panacito, the barrier beam to force it away. And once again, it's a tough spot. Panacito, good dash to make sure it doesn't land in Friendly Taco's hands. But it's still such a scary spot.
Yeah, as we hit overtime. Ooh, and yep, that is the signal for overtime. Puck just goes flying. Oh, good. Oh, barely makes it. Oh, they still managed to keep it up, though. Nope, not yet. Oh, misses it, but angle doesn't get, but hey, Taco redirects, gets it perfectly in the angle. Panacito can do nothing about it. That is third. That is set. 1 up. Chikara Mikeman.
Mike Mart. First pick,
Mike Mart.
well-deserved. Stacks on stacks, a possibility to bring some more speed to this Dubu. Could be something else, but I think it would be the stacks on stacks. Yeah, makes the character so much easier to play. As size does fall down, plenty of size to go around, of course. Rasmussen and Asher both will love that, but looking later on, there's also plenty of stuff for Kai. Ariel's denied away from the Estelle, a great pickup on the Kai. And Stagger Swagger, I mean, we saw everyone being chunked down. That additional speed and that additional regen is going to be doing quite a bit for Azrael.
Yeah, looking at that draft, I don't think anybody's particularly dismayed by what they got. Maybe Estelle, but again, like you said, I mean, everybody was getting beat up out there, so that's not going to really put a frown on her face.
Yeah, I think the person that needs to be careful is Yav, though. That Kai's been blown up, and Friendly Taco's getting it right past. 2 barriers down in an instant, and maybe Chikara Mike Mart are looking even stronger after that awakening draft, despite the power level being quite even. But that's a combo KO. Friendly Taco takes out Yav, and without that Kai, the offense should stall, but no, it's a weird dribbling, and the respawn's almost in. A strike shot, strike war from Panacito. The barrier goes down. Disaster for Chikara Mike Mart.
I'm kind of surprised they did not push the offense on that power play, but hey, I'm sure 7-star is more than fine with that. Both goals open, and now they have a chance to push. Swampert trying to do just that, but Dubu with the log, keeps it pushed up. Oh, yeah, that was a bear save. Yeah, save pretty much. Miracle moment there. Swampert trying to push it back. Nope. Soup's on.
And
keeping it forward.
Now it's a really tough spot because so many flips are on the board, right? Now a flip from Swampert Trooper wasted, trying to save it from Friendly Taco, who somehow finds the corner angle around Panacito. That's 1-0. Long point, but Chikara Mike Mart make it happen and keep their lead.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it seems like this is kind of going to be a defensive war, and first to crack on defense, probably not going to go well for that team. I mean, it sounds simple, but it can be surprisingly difficult to hold up. It can be surprisingly difficult to take advantage of. Flip to avoid that barrier going down. Manages to get it out. Nothing really doing with it. Panacito putting on a bit of a clinic, making sure that barrier is staying up. No sail.
But the wrong barrier goes down, unfortunately. The top one staying steadfast, but now it's a tough spot. The barrier beam to strike afterwards. Panacito somehow managing to keep that barrier up still, despite even more offense, winning strike wars against Friendly Taco over and over again. Patience after the whiplash. Friendly Taco feeling a bit impatient now, as Panacito is just exploiting that impatience over and over again. Like you said, a defensive clinic right now.
God, and that was Swampert getting taken out, flipping his face, trying to get it past, but Mike says no. Open goal now for 7-star. I think Chikara has been massively on the offense for this point. They have been relentless. But hey, 7-star striking back, making sure that it is not so simple. Oh, arrow does not quite make it.
That was a crazy strike shot timing. Strike for Friendly Tonko. Panacito with the dash up. Doesn't need to burn the flip to save that. Has the resource. And Yav12 past Mike Mart, who will take the point. A well-earned point. Especially for Panacito. That guy has just held it down the entire point.
Oh yes, very. Yeah, manages to pass it to themselves. Redirected. Markman could not get in it. First barrier going down. Second one nearly goes down. Flip comes out. Doesn't quite. Oh, but counter flip gets the second barrier down. Friendly Taco trying to make it happen all by themselves. Doesn't quite get it. Friendly Taco still on the hunt. Panacito's trying to push it out. Panacito and Swampert both are trying to play defense at the moment because the offense is just that threatening.
It really is, as Panacito has to burn the dash to get up there to prevent that goal from going in. Friendly Taco another dribble, but well timed on the defense. Swampert Trooper has another strike, and they need to get it out of here, but Friendly Taco's keeping possession so well.
And you want to know what I'm noticing? Azrael is just back there on the low ground, out, and commentators curse. Hey, first one. But Azrael has been playing very good secondary to Friendly Taco. Always there to make sure that whatever Friendly Taco either escapes it or needs someone to pass it to, right there, always hounding the defense. And that, I think, is part of why they've actually been able to keep this massive offense up and why they've been able to score so readily. They just have that kind of hidden sniper waiting in the wings in Estelle.
Yeah, and look at that, those passes, just like you mentioned, making it difficult, but Yav finally cuts it. Good elusive, but the hitbox is still active and takes out the goalie. That was such a good save, but that save alone won't win you the game. It's Chikara Mike Mart who have all the control in terms of the core. And 7-star strikers, the forwards need to start doing something because Panacito is saving all of this, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, they need to find some way to get on the offense and stay on the offense because they've had a few flashes. I've noticed that. But it seems like on occasion, Friendly Taco just pulls something or Azrael snipes one of them and suddenly they have to back off for a little bit because suddenly, hey, their health is at like 1/3 or something along those lines. So they have to try and push. And hey, they seem to be going for it now. Swampert and Yav both trying to put together a united front. Oh, Black Hole kind of ruins that, though. They are a bit of a scramble there, if you ask me. Azrael, again, good snipes, making sure it just stays up, allowing Friendly Taco to do his business.
And now Mike Mart's pushing all the way up to Tofu Fortress, and finally the barrier will go down. They clear it away, but they waste a flip. And that's a resource gone. That's the offense even weaker for 7-star strikers as Chikara Mike Mart are looking steadfast once again in the offense. Great clear by Panacito. Needs to burn the primary. That's so many resources gone for the goalie. And it will eventually find its way in. A great shot by Azrael. As Chikara Mike Mart are still looking dominant, they have all the possession.
Yeah, this draft needs to be good for 7-star. Like once that last draft came in for Mike Mark, it was getting rough, and this is not looking much better.
Oh, wait, no, don't take Monumentalist.
Wait.
Oh no.
Oh.
The chance of passing down Monumentalist is gone. Of course, you still get Timeless Creator. But you could have had a Monumentalist now here. But I will say there's some people who say that Timeless does feel better. I was one of the people who said Timeless kind of felt better. But like still, you could have had a double creation threat that might have forced the Estelle to deny. But instead, they get Catalyst. I think that's a huge drafting blunder from 7-star Strikers.
Yeah, I have to agree. Definitely a bit of a misplay there. And we'll have to see. Hey, we'll see if they pay for it. We'll see if they pay for it. Because I'm one of those people who actually also thinks, like Monu now is, easy step one for Zodia now. But hey, barriers traded, not in the worst position, but all three of them having to play defense. And this is just, oh god, Friendly Taco just making sure they do not get any opportunity to get a sustained offense. 7-star cannot sustain an offense. Friendly Taco is a one-man show by himself. Oh god, oh the humanity. Woo.
Yeah, that point was a little crazy. Friendly Taco and Azrael were just a wall in the midfield. Like, it did not cross midline. It was a little crazy there. Chikara Mike Mutter looking even better now.
Okay, but hey, maybe 7-star is trying to take a page out of their book. They're trying to keep it pushed up. They get both barriers, so hey. Let's see if they can make anything happen, though. Again, that's been the key. Sustained offense. 7-star does not have it. Mike Mark does. Oh, and a quick double barrier for Chikara. It just answers back really quickly. And here we go again.
Oh, really patient. Oh no, Panacito had the timing, but it bounced off the bottom of the net right into the pendulum swing of Friendly Taco. And I think you're onto something when you mentioned Azrael's positioning. Swampert Trooper and Yav12 are both core chasers. They're not playing together.
Yeah, no. Azrael just doesn't need to chase. Azrael's just sitting there and just looking at it, waiting for their time. Like I said, like a sniper does. Waiting for their moment, picking their moment. And when they think they got it, boom! Snipe to the core. Boom! Snipe to somebody who's trying to defend. Boom! Just making sure that nothing that 7-star can do is just consistent. And even then, they have to, even if they do get past both of them, they have that ridiculous Mike Mark just blocking everything.
Yeah, and once again, they're trying to find the passes, but this time Yav seems a little bit more aware in terms of blocking them. So the barrier's still standing. They're still looking for an offensive play. Yav almost has the flip, and good defense by Panacito and Swampert Trooper to make sure that barrier does not go down. And a crazy bounce off the center gets it past Mike Mart. Maybe a sign of life for the 7-star Strikers, but the road ahead is still pretty steep.
Yeah, I would almost call that one kind of like a weird accident, because once the black hole blew off, everybody kind of stood like, what just happened? But hey, a point's a point, take it, use that, build off that momentum. And they hopefully are, there it goes, cleared down to the south.
Dribble found, a great Giga Blast by Yav. Will find that top barrier flip, looking for another here, but just defended away, no flip used. And Azrael is looking solid with that flip as well. If they could accelerate the core forward, that's exactly what they're doing right now. That's one barrier down already.
Oh god, and almost the second one there about. Flip tried to get it clear. Black hole says no. Flip, and I think that was a counter flip by Azrael that gets the second barrier. Snipe to Panacito, trying to stun him out. Flipped in their face. Weird attack, but Yav is down, and so is Scorpion is out. It is a 2-on-3. Oh god! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! They are dribbling it back and forth, just trying to get straight soccer. Just a quick 1-2 punch. That's 3. That's set. That's game. We're done here.
And well, really cleanly played too, because Panacito had flip available. Really could have stalled that out if they didn't play that perfectly, but Friendly Taco hits it around the goalie perfectly out of the flip range and just gets it done in the end.
Yeah, I think part of that was, like, near the end, it was just what I would call, like, mental guard break. If anybody's ever been in the FGC, they had just been pounded on and pounded on and pounded on. Look at the damage. Friendly Taco, 25k. Azrael, 19k. That was just, it was just a complete onslaught. And it was hard for 7-star to kind of like even get anything sustained. There was no breathing room. There was no space.
Yeah, a great performance by 7-star Strikers, but it wasn't enough to get past Chikara Mike Mart, right? We mentioned it so many times, the superior midfield control.
Yeah, like I said, Azrael was just always in the right place, always in the right time, making sure that, hey, it's getting up to midfield. No, that core is not. It is staying up front. Let Friendly Taco just handle business and honestly present just a scary, scary threat right in the goal box by himself. Brutal, but hey, like I said, 7-star definitely showed signs of life. I definitely think they have something going. And honestly, another thing I want to just bring up really, really fast is I feel like Swampert and Fantasy, I feel like they kind of got messed up at character select because we could see Swampert was going to go for that Juno, but part of the game is character select, doing your homework, making sure you know who the other team likes to choose and making sure they don't get to play their optimum characters. And Mike Mark just immediately shut that down. So Swampert couldn't really play their game, and that kind of was just a big issue from Word Go, in my opinion.
Well, we're going to be heading to a very short break, and when we're back, we'll have the final match of this week's OSAS up next, so don't go anywhere.
See you soon. Hello, welcome back to Omega Strikers Amateur Series. We are excuse me, Phoenix, Flare, also Saya, and we have coming up, I believe, it's the third place tiebreaker, 7-Star Strikers versus Chikara Clinkers. For this one, it is win and in, if I'm correct.
Yep. It is a bit of a do or die situation. Of course, there's always next week, but you don't want to go and have to do that next week. And 7-Star Strikers are also playing to kill the Chikara sweep, because so far 2 Chikara teams have made it and there's only 1 spot left, and who they're facing is also Chikara. And well, are you familiar with what Chikara is?
A little bit, let's say. I do know that there are very, very good. Pretty much most of their teams are top class, and Clinkers in particular has been doing some work.
They indeed have, but they've fallen short so far in this season of OSAS. We'll see if they can get it done, but wait a second. That's the Juno from Swampert Trooper.
You're right. That Juno got Wick banned last game in Mike Mart, but hey, they don't seem to. Either they don't know or they think they can handle it. So we'll see how right they are. Barriers very quick to be traded. Slime's coming out to play both barriers quickly there. Slime's in front. We are starting this party off right.
Yeah, and with the Super Surge start, everyone's moved around the map so quickly, and the 2 characters the scariest with that are probably the Juno and of course the Zentaro. The Blabo bounce will make it so that Swampert Trooper is going to be sniping goals from across the map and trying to find an opening here. Is Swampert Trooper, if you have can set it up, they're really just minding the midfield quite well here. But on the other side, you got to watch out for that Zentaro Super Surge, a crazy awakening on that character.
Yeah, but said Zentaro is looking very slow. Vic looking very low. Vic Blade barely hanging on as, what is that, Yav and Swampert try to make a play for the goal. Ooh, Kia barely saves that, but save it they do.
And now to the top side is cleared away. Swampert Trooper with the core speed now in overtime, looking to be a bit of a threat here. And it's a dangerous spot for Kiane.
Yeah, that core is going back and forth very fast. Slime's coming out, trying to make sure they do not want it to go south for a little bit. Snipe, jump! Oh, nearly pushes it in. Doesn't quite get it. They managed to save the day. Kiane making sure this does not go down too quickly. Slime's up. Yav imposing and just hits it in. Kiane just caught looking.
Bit of a fastball there. A little too quick to react from the Asher goalie. Not what you like to see, but sometimes it just happens like that. Chikara Clinkers just gonna have to reflect and figure out a way to get back in this game.
Yeah, sometimes it just burns past you and don't know what happened. But hey, they are pushing. Slime's in back trying to get it out of the way. Core flip gets no purchase. Barrier gets taken for the trouble. Juno flips up to make sure the second barrier falls as well. They get it out of there. Panacito trying to make sure they're just flips in face, knocks it out. Midfield. We are still going. Both the goalies are actually doing very well.
Indeed they are, and Swampert Trooper and Yav have breached the defenses. It looks like Kiane forced to burn the dash to make the save. As once again, it's a question of possession, right? Can they get multiple tries on the offense? But that's a black hole KO.
Yeah, that isn't exactly going to help the possession matter, especially since Yav is on the brink himself. There it goes! 2-on-2, and just tries to pass it. Kiane barely gets it out. Swampert jumps, makes sure, okay, we've got full team back on captain. Yes, Vic Blade definitely making the most of that. Pushes it in. Boom, there it is, tied up.
Big score for Chikara Clinkers. That's the type of gameplay we like to see, especially when Vic Blade is making sure the power play is not devastating. It's putting damage pressure on Yav, and with the Super Surge already, that Zentaro is going to look a lot scarier in the later sets. Captain Yes as well pushing forward, as Panacito does not have flip, unlike the counterpart. An early strike means both barriers go down, and now it's 7-Star Strikers in a ton of trouble.
Ouch, yeah, Captain just bullied it past them both. I kind of feel like they had used what they could. There was nothing for that one, I think.
Yeah, they kind of overcommitted early, right? They made it so that Captain Yez's last strike there was nothing really for it. So those resources burned, and now Vic Blade's doing so much damage. Yav could die here. Picks up the orb, but it's still incredibly low.
Yeah, very scary. Both barriers down. Kione has to get it out very fast, and they do. But goes right back in. Yav, Swampert, basically waiting on the wings. They managed to get it out, though. Kione, jeez, there's a lot of pain being thrown around in this match very early on.
Yeah, it's only going to get crazier as the damage stacks up in terms of awakenings. Strike shot goes awry. Panacito, one barrier left though, as Vic Blade tries to push it forward. Swamper Trooper slimes it backwards, but it's all good. They're still pushing up the field. But Yav's scoring attempts have been a little bit lackluster. The pendulum swing a little bit autopilot, it feels like. But Swamper Trooper with the flip will bring us all the way to a 0.5.
Yeah, I feel like Swamper Trooper should be the MVP of this. I may be wrong. That's, of course, if they win. But Swamper Trooper has been very on point with, like, their jumps, their intercepts, their slime placement. Kind of what I was hoping for and expecting from the other one. Oh, jeez! And just as I say, oh, they've been on point with their jumps. And I believe that was Kayane that just smashed him into the wall. So much for that.
Oh, and that's another KO off the black hole. That's 2 players down. Panacito, though, this time has a barrier and a Juno coming up to help on the defense. A bit of a flashback to the last point of the last game, perhaps, as the passing plays come in. But Panacito's patient with the strikes, but no one's there to cover the top side. They still manage to strike it out of there. A missed shot by Captain Yes. Vic Blade trying to find it as well. The barrages will be good. Right past Panacito. Captain Yes really, really needed that, and Chikara Clinkers will get it.
Yeah, that was. I feel like that one was almost more tense than like. I feel like that was a bit of a quick goal, but like you said, they really needed that, especially going into this draft.
Yeah, there are some scary things in this draft. A lot of speed, of course, to be picked up. Timeless Creator and Extra Special both available for Panacito, along with the Glass Cannon that is so good on the goalies. Extra Special picked up by Swamper Trooper. An interesting choice here. Could have gone for some other picks, but Extra Special kind of denies the Dubu as well, I gotta think. Yeah. So it's a bit of an awkward spot.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with you on that. What I will admit I'm a little bit surprised at, but also not, is Kione not picking up the prize fighter. And I know that's not, like, obviously the best, but they've been getting some pain on these people. They've been getting some kills, and I feel like that may actually would not have been like the worst choice. But we're into it now, and let's see what they can go. Let's see what they can do with it, because Yav is already looking low.
Oh,
Yes, oh god, Yav is dead. Excuse me. And one barrier for it. Vic Blade tries to make sure it's good. It stays up with the Oni's Blade. Captain Yes looking very, very low. Swampert looking low. Everybody's bloody and bruised, but not broken. Captain Yes manages to stay alive, pushes it in for the score.
Yeah, and despite all of the chaos, Captain Yes keeps calm, finds a very calm strike right past the panicking Panacito. And Yav picked up the prize fighter, right? And really needed to find a way to survive there, but instead, it is Chikara Clinkers who are snowballing. 2 barriers already, Vic Blade with a flip available. Chikara Clinkers might have just turned this game completely in their favor.
Yeah, especially with just, again, like all the damage that's just been coming out and trying to find a way to stay alive outside of it. Oh, whoa! That was a heck of a flip. That was a heck of a dash. That was a heck of a score. Vic Blade just ninjaing it past Panacito.
That feels a little unfortunate. Kind of feels like Panacito had the read, had the roll, but it didn't work out. Gotta get some slow motion on that later in the clips.
Nothing personnel, kid.
But they're still in a lot of trouble here. 2 barriers down already. The offense from Chikara Clinkers has looked so good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and yep. Just bullies it in. Made sure that pass down from Vic Blade to Captain Yes. Set it up perfectly. Panacito tried to fight it. But that barrage is just so oppressive. It's like, okay, what can you do? Okay, you dodged the first one, but I got 3-4 more coming. How you going to block that? And with this draft coming up, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. And Chikara Clinkers might have just gotten exactly what they needed to complete the Chikara sweep, something that we haven't seen in a while, actually. Chikara's been struggling a little bit lately. That's Egoist picked up as the first pick. And with how Captain Yes has been scoring, Egoist, of course, a powerful awakening on its own, but perfectly synergistic with the playstyle of the Kai right now. So I'm expecting this one to be pretty quick.
Yeah, and also, hey, Vic Blade got that twin drive, so that's just gonna be a whole lot more pain coming out from him. Very quick barrage, very quick soups, I believe that we ever call that, but that barely manages to save the lower barrier. Does not for long. And oh, that was a Giga Blast from Captain Yes, keeping it up front. Vic Blade. Oh.
Well, with one barrier going down, it's an awkward spot, but Captain Yes has all the speed in the world. Looking like an egoist without the egoist proc. That's coming next point. Already looking so good. And if that's how Captain Yes is outplaying, I fear for the 7-star strikers. Chikara Clinkers are in such a good spot.
Yeah, Captain playing like he deserves the title. Jeez Louise! That black hole took everybody for a ride. Oh God! And the pain does not stop. Yeah, 12. God,
how many prize fighter stacks does that guy have?
Many, apparently. At least 2, I want to say.
Press the tab button.
Let's see. We got here. Oh, no, there was no prize fighter. They took Rampage, and that's 1.
Oh, my bad.
It's cool.
All good, though, because Captain Yes is back, and this point's not looking nearly as decisive, despite the massive power play, despite the KOs. So, Chikara Clinkers are keeping it pretty even.
Nope, they held out, and they are trying to make the most of it. Vic Blade a little bit low, but so is Yav, and they need to try and take advantage of this. They need to keep it going. Oh, wow! Black Hole barely takes out Yav. And Vic Blade not looking too healthy either. But, yep. Go on ahead with your bad self. They are not letting up despite all the pain.
Oh, and a flip KO off the side on the staggered target. That's Vic Blade going down, but a risky pass to Yav. Captain Yes just needs one big strike war win, it feels like. Almost at that egoist speed. Could be a breakaway for Captain Yes.
Oh, yeah. Panacito barely stops it. Vic Blade spawns back just in time to prevent that from going forward. Panacito, good lord, keeps it out. But wait, flip. Panacito, great save. Kayone, great save, says I can do it too. Vic Blade tries to secure the goal, but not quite in time, not quite in space.
Awkward bounces now as Swampert Trooper looking for a dribble, and perfectly played by Swampert Trooper, making Yav 12's life so easy with that dribble around Captain Yes. That's what you like to see from the 7-star strikers.
Delicious, yes, beautiful pass, beautiful play right there. Need more of that though, need a good bit more of that. But hey, a lot of slimes, a lot of work, a lot of pain. Vic looking low, Yav looking low, Swampert looking low. It is scary out there. Someone might be going down very fast, but not quite as fast as those barriers. Double barriers down. Swampert definitely trying to do it. Panacito moving up a little bit, wants to try and make this happen. Strike shot misses. Vic Blade comes in, but gets punished for it. Slimes all day, every day. Swampert tries to bully it past, doesn't quite get it, but wait, never mind, because guess who's right there? Yeah, hits it in, backs up by Swampert, backs up by Panacito with that soup. Not quite dead yet.
Yeah, the 7-star strikers 1 point away from continuing this game, but they need this 1 point. It's a critical one right here as the core finds its way around. Maybe this could be what they need to continue this game, but it gets past Swampert, and now Vic Blade's pushing forward with Captain Yes. And with the game swinging around like that, the Chikara Clinkers might just bring us to 0.5.
Yep, they've got both barriers down, but hey, almost sad, boys, but fortunately for them, not quite. Kayone manages to get it out. Panacito puts a log to secure it, make sure that they don't get too much offense going. Slime goes! Oh, barely manages to shoot it. Kayone does manage to save it, though. Panacito on the defense again. Captain Yes comes in with the speed and the barrage, and just that barrage is just so hard to deal with one-on-one. Good gracious.
Yeah, and Captain Yes is picking very good times to do it with, in a flip KO. Just raw, that guy was full health. Captain Yes, what a KO to find the potentially last point of this game. But can they find the barrier? Good flip by Panacito. And good patience to get it out of there despite the barrage from Captain Yes. They weather the storm. Yav is back. And this game is not over quite yet.
It's looking like it might be, though. Both barriers down for 7-star. Slime's trying to help out. Slime shooting out. Kione very, very up front. Flip tries to push it through. Not quite, so Kione's running back to defend. Barely gets that barrier. They are fighting for their lives. Flip in their face. Nothing you can do. It is done.
It's over. Chikara Clinkers will complete the Chikara sweep. And a bit of an unfortunate ending there, as Yav actually got stuck in the Tofi Fortress of Panacito.
Yeah, not the best ending for 7-star, but honestly, still love them. Still played their hearts out. That was very apparent. Like the game, I feel less than 15 minutes, but that I don't feel like that entirely tells the tale of the tape.
Yeah, especially in that last set, it was very, very close. But in the end, Chikara Clinkers, they had the clutch plays, I think, of course. Captain Yes, the player to watch in that game. They were doing everything, it felt like.
Yeah, Captain Yes was all over the place. You needed to keep it upfield, he was there. You needed to score, they were there. You needed kills, hey, he got some of those too. Captain just kind of playing lights out, really. And I feel like almost that by itself was just a little bit too much for 7-star strikers to just to deal with. I actually kind of feel like they couldn't quite get their mojo going at all. And excuse me, like before, I kind of feel the drafts just really didn't go their way. A lot of the stuff that was up for grabs, it really fell for Chikara. And so yeah, we just have all Chikara all day, all the time, every day.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Well played by Chikara Clinkers, though. To get to those drafts in a favorable spot, you need to be the ones winning, and they were winning, and they have made it to the finale. Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Thank you for having me, honestly. It was my first time casting, if anybody couldn't tell. But yeah, first time casting, and rather enjoyed it. Very exciting to kind of be in the booth, so to speak, for Omega Strikers, getting able to just watch this and just marvel at it. Because honestly, even in the lower tiers, even for like the amateur series, I feel like there's just so much going on, and it's always awesome to see new players and up and comers and seeing what they can do and knowing, hey, they are ones to watch out for. Like honestly, my player is still Swampert. I was still in love with that Juno.
Well, that was P-Flare, #1 Twitch chatter. You'll probably see them in every single Twitch chat, and you will not be out chatting this individual. I'll say it. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.
Arrivederci.